This is your warning. Tyranny, fascism, and censorship will not be tolerated. Ideas will be exchanged freely. Rigorous debate and open discourse is encouraged. If you are weak and your beliefs are fragile, you should leave now. Prepare yourself. We are now live on the Dangerous Liberty Podcast.
What is happening, everybody? Happy Wednesday out there. Hope everybody's having a great day. We got a great show for you today. We got a lot of stuff going on in the world. We're going to try our best to keep it light tonight and just have some fun. I've been getting texts, comments, and everything else saying, like, you just got to watch tonight's Candace. I got it pulled up. We may end up doing some reaction videos over there, but I want to say hi to everybody over in the chat first. Thank you for tuning in. You guys are going to have fun tonight. We got two great guests tonight, and it's going to be a good show. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, all those things. Oh, also, if you want to become a member and you want to support the channel, down in the description below is a link where you can become a member. We're going to have some fun tonight, and we are going to include you toward the end. We will prioritize super chats, but I will try to get to as many live comments as possible. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring on Arty Trollz and Edie Lowe. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Thank you for coming
Hey,
on.
everyone. So good to be here.
It's great to have you. So first of all, I ran into Arty just in the slums of X, just where we normally hang out, just going around there. I loved a lot of his great comments, a lot of his great takes. I saw that he had a YouTube channel. I checked out a little bit of his content over there, but I love finding other, YouTube creators, social media creators that, I don't know, just have common sense. Simple as that.
Yes.
And of course, Edie, she's well known at this point. She's had some really great skits that she's putting on X and her other social media sites. And by the way, folks, down in the description below is both of their YouTube and X channels. Make sure you go follow them, give them a like. But we're going to do ladies first. Edie, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started into social media.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so hi, everyone. Howdy ho there, neighbors. My name is Edie. I live in Virginia. I'm a wife and a dog mom. A wife to my David, my greatest reward on this earth. I'm 38 and I am a costumer. So if you go to my channel, you will see that I'm exposing darkness in costume. So the Lord delivered me on November 1st of 2020. That's the day that I was saved, and he radically changed my life. And so I'm always wanting to talk about Jesus and really expose the darkness that's in our culture. So I think culture is downstream of religion, and I think Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. I just love speaking about him, and I love talking about what's going on in culture and tying it back to scripture. And I also like to dress up in costumes and have fun. I think life is just better in a costume. My husband's like, what is happening here? Why are you, Belle, talking about Jesus? I don't get it, but okay. And so I got started on social media. Before I was saved, I wanted to be a body positive influencer. Goodness, guys, I almost went woke. Like, there was a time that I almost went woke and the Lord saved me. So that's what I was doing with my socials. And then after God saved me, I just wanted to dedicate my time to doing videos like I've been doing. And Jason Whitaker, I love that man. He literally just invited me on his show one day, gave me a shout out, like tripled my subscribers. So I'm so blessed and thankful for him. And now it's just like, I can't believe that I'm here on this show. So I attribute a lot of my success with my teeny tiny channel to Jay Wet, the Jay Wet podcast.
Well, no, you deserve some. You definitely deserve some success. I think you're putting out better content than a lot of people out there. It's hilarious. It's a lot of fun to watch.
Thank you.
Again, everybody over in the chat that are now and in the future, make sure you guys go follow both of these great content creators. And Arty, tell us a little bit about you, buddy.
Yes, sir. So I'm Arty Trollz. My name's Nick. It doesn't make any sense. It's a long story. It was a really bad gamer name I used to have.
You also grew up, right?
So No, it started off with Arthemesia, and a couple people would call me Arty for short because that's really hard to pronounce. It was just kind of a gamer tag I had. I started off here playing some video games and just doing music, and noticed woke absolutely infiltrating all of it back in about 2016. Made a couple videos about it, some, started getting traction and just kind of never really stopped. So just kind of snowballed from there for the most part.
That's awesome. So, I think kind of how all of us met and came across each other was, we've been hitting Candace pretty hard. And so like Edie, what was you're a reformed cultist. So you used to be on the Candace train. And I'll say this,
Yes.
not recently, but I've always kind of followed Candace in the periphery. I always had, positive thoughts and feelings about her. I thought she was great. Thought she was great for the conservative movement. And then I start seeing what she's doing with the entire Charlie Kirk thing, and I was like, can't stay quiet on this. So tell us your story about that.
Well, let me just say there's help for you out there. Candies, 800-555. Save yourself. I don't know. So I found Candace after my born again salvation date, November 1st. I found like the Daily Wire and Candace, and I loved everything about her. If you look back on my channel, I even reshared it recently. It's called The Deception Confession. I Was a Candy. It's like a night and day difference, me talking about her. I said, I love the way she talks. She always brings receipts. I love everything about her, her skin, her beautiful teeth. Like I was just like singing her praises. And I started squinting when October 7th happened. And I was unpleased with her reaction, but I thought, maybe she's just working through things. And then it was just a domino effect. I was hearing things left and right. I'm like, she's purporting to be a Christian and she's saying things that are completely antithetical to scripture. And just aside from being antithetical to scripture, she's speaking with such hate and disdain towards an entire group of our human race. So that was the first thing. I was like squinting, but I was trying to give her passes because my love was deep for this person. It's like never meet your heroes. When the mask came down, it was hurtful to me. And I was like, oh my goodness, no, Candace, please come back. And I was like, no, pass. Then when this happened with Charlie, because I stopped following her for a moment. So I wasn't there for the Brigitte Macron saga, whatnot. And then this happened with Charlie. I started following her again. Let me tell you, and I'll wrap this up. I wept when I saw her tribute video, when she said there's no Candace without Charlie. And that seemed like real, genuine pain when I watched that. And I mean, she sucked me in again. But then it was episode, and I saw what she was doing and heard what she was saying. And I only knew a little bit about Charlie, and everything I knew about him, I loved. I thought that he spoke the truth about the Lord. I could tell that he was a God-fearing man. He loved his family. I would hear him talk about his wife, never knew about Erica, nothing. But everything that she was saying was a complete contradiction to what he portrayed to the world. And I'm like, what are you doing? And then I started looking things up myself. And the lies that were just coming out of her mouth and the way she would twist scripture to validate her own behavior. And I was like, no, I'm not going to have you do that. Not with my Lord Jesus. I just can't stand it. So when people say, why are you coming so hard at her? I would not be coming hard at her like I am if she would just admit that she's not a Christian. But she maligns the word of God. She is leading people down the path of treachery, like leading them straight to the pits of hell. And we are supposed to snatch people from the fire. So as a Christian, it's my obligation to call her out because she's doing all of this under the guise of Christianity. So that's why here I am.
Yeah, there's a lot going on when you start sitting back and analyzing and you look at all the different facets of life that Candace, in my opinion, is damaging, right? Whether it's Christianity, whether it's the conservative movement, whether it's the United States, whether it's whatever it is, just it's like everything that she touches and she tries to put a hand on everything. It's damaging to that, which is, some of it I'm still sort of convinced that, some of this is intentional to undermine like even the conspiracy. Look, I believe in conspiracies. Artie, you and I were just talking about this. I'm a big believer in conspiracies. Conspiracies happen. We know they happen. We can look at COVID. We can look at the stolen election of 2020. We can look at fix. We can go on and on and on. The Steele dossier, the lawfare that was that was put on President Trump and his 34 felonies. Like those are all conspiracies, very real conspiracies. And when you have someone like Candace out there that I think really is giving conspiracies a bad name, giving the Conservative Party a bad name. But what really irritates me the most is when you sit there and say, I loved Charlie while you're destroying his family and everything that he stood for and the conservative movement and the gains that he made. Like we had not only a conservative revival in the United States, but a genuine Christian revival. Like suddenly Charlie made it cool to be a Christian. Charlie made it cool to be a conservative. And these are things that he talked about and was winning over the conservative youth in droves, something we'd never seen before. And then, you have Candy come in here and say, nope, TPUSA is actually evil. Everything that he was actually doing was evil. She's not saying that, but that is what she's saying, because TPUSA today is no different than TPUSA, 5 months ago. But so Artie, what was the moment for you, man? Why'd you start speaking out against Candace?
Oh man, so I've been pretty much speaking out from about Candace since the very beginning. Before I even started a channel, I was watching what all followed with the whole social autopsy debacle that was going down, and it was Blair White who actually, I believe it was Blair White who ended up calling out Candace Owens when she flipped and started her channel Red Pill Black, if people remember that channel at all. And it was like a few months later or so, and she went full conservative. And Blair White was like, hey, hold on. This is the lady that just tried to dox all these kids and ended up having a big debate on Dave Rubin. And that was one of probably the first pieces of media I covered about Candace Owens was the Dave Rubin, Blair White, Candace Owens debate. Probably one of the funniest debates I've ever seen in my life. Poor Dave Rubin can't even get a handle on it. It's just him going, guys, over and over and over again while they're just screaming at each other. It's fantastic. I miss that old YouTube. That was my taste into, and just since then, never really trusted her. I've when she signed up with Daily Wire, there were a couple times I had agreed with her on simple subjects involving Trump and stuff. Yeah. But again, I was right on Steven Crowder's side with the whole garbage, her saying that Steven Crowder should have put his big boy pants on and negotiated contracts with Daily Wire. And then in the same sentence, she goes, well, he did negotiate, but then we turned it down. And it's like, oh, so the term sheet was indeed an actual contract, and she's sitting there now upset with Daily Wire over the exact same thing she defended years ago. Yeah. And that just blows my mind. It's fantastic to watch how quick she flips on a dime on the exact same issue. So I've just been pretty much noticing that since the beginning.
Yeah, no, she definitely, like, everything that she's ever spoken out against, like, she's become. She now embodies those exact things. And the more I thought about it over the last couple of months, the more I realized, like, all the things that I liked about her, they weren't anything original. She never said an original express an original political thought. These were all things that were already being said. And a lot of people know, even Jason Witt, he talks about, I think she was always a leftist. I still don't buy that. I just don't think she's principled. I think she's a salesman and, gets out there and she's just tofu. Like, whatever's going to make her money at the time. There's no principles behind it. There's no real education or understanding about what she's talking about, the politics that she's involved in. She's in front of a camera like, hey, if I say this, people like me, I'm going to get views and I'm going to get money. And that's what I'm going to say. And now she no longer has to be a salesman for somebody else's product. She now has her own show and she's just going with her own sales pitch of what she's selling. And there's nothing there that is conservative that I've ever seen in the last few months. And then on top of that, it's not quite liberal either. I think part of that is her trying to straddle the fence to not lose the conservative views. But I think you can go through her chat and it's like, you can see what people are saying. Like, I've always hated Donald Trump. I always knew MAGA was wrong. I always, this, that. Like, there's a huge crossover with liberals onto her show. And again,
Mhm.
what she's saying is indistinguishable from, and her goals are indistinguishable from what the leftists in this country want as well.
Mhm. Yeah,
Absolutely. I
she's a
mean, it's a
lunatic.
brilliant tactic.
It really is. Like she's
Yeah.
doing, and now we see, you were talking about, Edie, you were talking about how you were sad. You were kind of going through this, I don't know,
Grief.
this
It was grief.
grief,
It was
whatever it
denial.
was,
It was all
denial,
the things.
all of those things,
Yeah.
right? I felt the same thing with Tucker Carlson. Like I love Tucker. I listened to 2 podcasts religiously, and that is the Joe Rogan Experience and Tucker Carlson. I listened to
Mhm.
those almost nonstop. And then suddenly, like 3 months ago, I was like, this doesn't sound, this is the opposite of what Tucker was saying a year ago. Like, I don't know what's going on here. And it's just progress.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, once he's backing Candace, I'm like, no, I'm out of here. And we kind of see that
Yeah.
going on with Megyn Kelly. And I'm
Oh,
not sure
Megan.
exactly what's going on with her, but
That woman.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. She's, I don't know, just kind of passing off whatever Candace claims without any evidence. And it's like, well, Charlie was definitely like, thinking about leaving Israel and all that stuff. And it's like, there's only one text message that could even
One.
remotely prove anything.
Yeah.
And the fun fact about both sides of that text messages, or of that text message in general, both are cut off from the top and the bottom. And it's like,
Mhm.
that's the needed context.
Mhm.
What happens if all that gets released? That could change everything. I'm not going to
Yeah.
hitch my horse to a partial text. That doesn't make sense.
Well, Josh Hammer released or he posted, he was like, against my better judgment, I don't like to reveal personal text messages, but he showed like the last portion of that text thread where Charlie was, after they had the conference call or Zoom or whatever. And he said, thanks, great chat tonight, guys. Thank you so much for these talking points. Like Josh Hammer posted, and Candace is trying to say that those are fake or they're missing context. Or so, yeah.
Of course. So they're
and
missing
it's funny-
context when more are added. That makes sense.
Right. But she
Yeah.
still thinks that, guys, she still thinks that it was like in those messages, Charlie really wanted to bring her back when she was the butt of that statement.
right.
When he said they don't want me to invite Tucker. Well, I'm thinking of inviting Candace because Candace, you're worse than Tucker. But she still thinks
Right.
like he wanted to bring me back. He wanted to bring me back to make me CEO. That is what's going on. She's living in a state of delusion. Like, girl, I thought you were like a gifted child, drinking fluoride and all these things. And you can astral project, but you don't understand that this text is making fun of you, idiot. I'm so sorry.
What do you guys make of the speaking of denial, what do you guys make of her followers? Like there is just no there's no talking and with any sort of reason or anything. Like there is no convincing them of anything. No matter how much evidence you show them, no matter I just got to the point where I know I'll interact with somebody like one time, and then from there I can tell where this is going. Like this is an immovable idiot that I'm not going to have any influence, and then all it's going to do is frustrate me and waste my time. Blocked. I've gotten so good at blocking. Like
Right.
I want to have the most blocked accounts on X.
Yes.
That is my goal for this.
Yes.
Going for
What
that
do you
Steve
guys
Shives
thought on
record.
those people?
No, it's really funny because the ones on X, they're not changing their mind for anything, but the ones on YouTube absolutely puzzle me. They don't make any sense. They're just bots. I mean, they're legitimate bots. I haven't found any commenting on any videos that are defending Candace that aren't bots. I'll reply something to them and they'll reply something that's so completely unrelated to even what they said before.
Oh.
It's shocking. And I have no idea if Candace is the one doing it or if somebody is aiding her in sending these bots, but mainly the ones I see on YouTube are bots. The ones on X, either they're very sophisticated or something, or they are real people. But those are the ones that are the craziest, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I think is exactly right. And Patriot Dad, we did a long, and he's studied this a lot more than his entire team has studied this a lot more. We need to have him back on and talk more about that. But basically what he's saying is what they're doing is they have these people that have like 30 accounts open, right? So they're literally managing 30 accounts, and they're what's known as a sock bot. So it's a real person behind it. it's just not like a real account. And they've been given a task. Hey, this is what we want you to do, and this is what they're doing. So they got 30 accounts going, and you can spot them pretty easily. Like we can go through my ex account. I think it's kind of funny, and you can see what's going on. And right around the time that Elon cut it off to where you couldn't have these foreign accounts, all these new accounts. So most of these are new. They have like 30, 40. And if you go through the people that are following them, there are other accounts that look just like theirs. And you can go through their feed, and what they're doing is they're reposting everything Candace says, and all of her surrogates, Project Constitution, Baron Coleman, Ryan Mata, like all the usual suspects. And then all they do is repost that. And then on top of that, they go and harass her opposition. And it's just, it's like, and what they're there to do, I think what their goal is to waste your time. So I've gotten to where I don't even say anything. I don't argue with them. I look at their account. If it's a low follower account and it hits a couple, you can actually, a lot of times too, you can actually, hey, Grok, is this account is, listed, whatever. And it'll tell you like, yeah, this has a lot of the characteristics of a sock puppet account. So I do think that there is a well-funded push behind this. And again, you don't need that much of an imagination. Everything she's doing is damaging to MAGA. So it could be leftists within this country, George Soros types. There could be foreign adversaries, which again are George Soros types. They're all leftists. They're all globalists. It's all the same. But I do think that she has an artificial push and has a lot of artificial attacks taking place to her opposition. Because again, these are not even arguments that make sense. And then you get in there and you can tell they got it down. They know how to spin you up. And the intent is just to get you aggravated and waste your time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're crazy. I found it they're crazy. I'm new to X, Twitter, whatever we're calling it. I've had my account since 2016, but I just in the last week have been on there. And the candies are crazy. They're using profanity, vulgarity, making fun of me, which is fine. But on YouTube, it's funny, Arty, because I think it's reversed. I was shocked at some of the things I was reading on Twitter. I was like, oh my gosh, we're allowed to talk like this on Twitter. The real people though, the bots, okay, yeah, fine. They're working for the enemy. But it's like people that I interact with, at work that are candies, they're the ones that I'm confused by. Because I'm like, how have the scales not fallen off of your eyes yet? How have the scales not fallen? I would say that they should have fallen off when she was talking about the bees in the tunnels with the maroon shirts popping up.
And the Egyptian birds.
And Egyptian planes. And then now France. Like, all of this can't be right? Like, all of this can't be. What is it going to take for you guys to realize that she's lost all of her marbles?
Yeah.
What is it going to take? And where is her husband? Because my husband, you wouldn't see me if I was acting like Candy. Like, he would have been done, got me help. We have a place in Virginia called Tucker's, okay, where people go when they need some psychiatric care. So I would have been enrolled in Tucker's if I was acting a fool, like Candace.
That's not what I expected with that name.
Oh, really?
It's not what I thought it was. I thought it was going to be a bar.
It's where you go when you need to hug yourself for a long time.
I was like, dang, we're going down the hole where her husband's going.
No. No, but I'm like, why isn't anyone intervening? Gentlemen, like, if your wives were going bananas, would you not have already intervened and gotten her help?
Yeah. Well, look, I don't think, you guys have seen some interviews with Mr. George Farmer. He is not the alpha in that relationship. I can just tell you that right now. Like, I think he's the one making Candace sandwiches. I think somebody said that the other night. And I think that's exactly true. She's running that roost. And the other part of this too is like, she's got a lot of money. She's making a lot of money off this show. And who knows if she'll get sued or not. She's definitely well past the point of having a successful lawsuit against her for sure. But it just depends on if TPUSA or anybody else has the will to do it. Mm-hmm. That being said, like, she can get sued for $500 million between the Macrons and TPUSA, or just the Macrons. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, all those assets, I guarantee, are well protected on the George side. Like that's going to be his money. That's separate. Like it's not going to affect her daily life in any way. It may give her a little bit of a bruised ego, but she's going to capitalize on that too. Like if she loses a lawsuit, it's all it's going to be is, well, you know, it's the system against me. It's, you know, I told you this. This actually proves that Erica Kirk, TPUSA were involved in this. This is actually proof of that.
Exactly.
And, you know, that's how she's going to spin it. And then, you know, her clapping seals of an audience going to be like, oh, that's exactly right.
Oh, right. Oh my God.
100%.
Crazy.
So I don't know if there's a real way out of this other than people just continuing to call her out. And to some extent, like shaming people when you're sitting by and you have this grieving widow, and the way that they're attacking her now, they're trying to go with this trope that she was a pedophile, that she was talking to this 15-year-old girl when she was 25. We get to get into that a little bit, but even that, like, there's no evidence of what's going on there. I don't even know if that's her phone. I don't know whose phone that is. Did they send you any metadata to confirm that? They didn't send me any metadata.
No, I haven't gotten any meta. But apparently the girl said that she found nothing weird about it anyway. She was like, I was talking with Erica at the time. And apparently, according to whoever the guy was that was putting her information out there anyway. Now, I haven't been able to confirm that. But apparently, and well, he also said that he can't get a hold of her anymore because of obviously how that blew up. And she's getting a lot of messages from many other people now. So I bet she's just turned everything off. But she was like, yeah, I never found it to be weird, according to the person who was in contact with her. I don't know anything else about it, and hopefully she comes forward maybe, but I guess we'll have to see.
You said that she was in... Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, go ahead.
Arty, I saw that video that you did on her, and the young lady wasn't she in pageants?
I'm not 100% sure if she was in pageants. She did say that she found Erica Kirk to be a role model, and she said that on her Instagram account on the picture that Erica commented on.
Yeah, because I have friends who have been in pageantry since they were little. And if they've won titles, I mean, even if they're in their 30s, they will usually have, they can mentor the young pageanters or pageanteers or whatever we're calling them. So that's not
absolutely
a far out concept. I wouldn't work.
Well, not to mention her acting and her modeling, and I mean, there's so many different things that she could have been mentoring her, and the fact that the girl saw Erica as a mentor, I mean, clearly something was kind of going on behind the scenes, I would imagine, professionally, you know, involving one of those avenues anyway.
You know, one of the things I was thinking about today popped up all the stuff with Trump and Epstein, right? And I was thinking about all the lawfare against him and how they tried to smear Trump in the many different ways and the many different tactics that they took against Trump. First, it was, you know, they had the Steele dossier, and then they were trying to put him in jail or at least impeach him multiple times. And then it went to, oh, well, you know, he was basically guilty of sexual SA. And then just continuing, like there was new people coming out of the woodwork and all these like little things that they were taking out of context. It's the exact same pattern that they are now using, that Candace is using against TPUSA and specifically Erica. First, it was, hey, you know what? She's guilty of murder. She knows more than she thinks, that she's letting us on. She's in on this. We saw her at Fort Huachuca. Now it's and kind of in that same time period. It's like, hey, the implication here is that she was having an affair while Charlie Kirk was alive. Now she's continuing to smear her, essentially saying that like there was trouble at the home because Charlie Kirk took his ring off, and now she's trying to imply that he did that at the same time, that they removed that wedding picture. Apparently that's what she's saying now today, and we may jump into some of that. And then
which is her profile picture still.
Yeah, and now it's going into this where she allegedly is trying to groom this girl, which doesn't even make sense. And from what I've seen, there's no evidence of that from the text messages I've seen. You have to read a lot into that as to what's available to come to that conclusion.
Which is rich coming from her, given the allegations against her husband. I said the other day, I said yesterday, why? Okay, don't come after somebody's relationship or their finances or their children or anything like that unless you want a target to be put on your back, because you're just opening your family up to the same scrutiny. Now people they have an incentive now to research you, Candace, and to research your husband and your children. Like, she's going to come for Charlie's children next.
Yeah.
She said, oh, they're off limits, because somebody left her a comment saying, we'd like to know more about Charlie's children. And her body always gives her away. She is so brain dead that she doesn't realize that. But she said, I'm not going to talk about his children. Like, I'm not going to talk about his, just completely giving her away. Like, girl, you're about to talk about his children. And that's just going to open yourself up for people to talk about your children. Like, where are your children? Don't throw stones when you live in a glass house. She's crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. And Tuesday when I was on with Jay Witt, I brought it up and I had never even heard it. I was like, I think the next thing that she's going to start saying is that those are not Charlie's kids. And apparently that rumor is already out and they're already going with that. So, I mean, there is nothing off limits with her. If it gets her to score points, and that's the crazy thing. It's like, no matter how absurd whatever she says or whatever accusation, her followers will jump on it. They'll believe it. They'll push it. They'll promote it. They'll retweet it, and they'll spread it like wildfire. And it won't even tingle their conscience one time.
Yeah, I don't know how they haven't, because I wasn't as far gone as some of these candies. Because if you look back at her when this first happened with Charlie, she was singing Erica's praises. She was even in the tribute episode, because she couldn't help but give herself a pat on the back. She said, I was the one who told Charlie, just go for it, Charlie, because he was talking to me about Erica. I told him, just go for it. And then in the next episode, she said, Erica's a fantastic woman. She's a God-fearing woman, this, and that. And I could just tell with people, I could just read people and I know. Okay, so why now aren't you guys questioning whether or not her censor is broken? Because clearly she misread this diabolical blue-eyed butcher. She wasn't able to pick up on those vibes. So why aren't they questioning her? You see, that those are the ones that are really far gone, that they can't even see through her poo-poo.
Yeah.
I know. I said poo-poo. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Well,
she also had oh, my bad.
No, go ahead, Arty.
She also had originally said that she was incredibly happy that Erica Kirk was the CEO, and she thought that it was, the right thing to do. And then she kind of tried twisting it and going, well, I think she should have had an interim, CEO placed in there. And then it went to, I don't think she's, the right person for the job. And it's like, what happened between the month where you said you were glad that she had stepped in, all the way up to the point where you said, no, she should not be in that, in that position. What actually substantially changed with evidence? Like, if she could just show it, that would be fantastic, because she hasn't shown anything. She's just gradually talked herself into not liking Erica. And it's kind of wild to me, especially with the whole iMessage thing, which is silly.
I think a lot of that's driven by her comments and her fans, whatever they're saying down there. Just like how she did a 180 when she came back from that meeting with Erica. She laid a lot of stuff out on the table that essentially debunked most of what she was saying, from phone calls with Mikey McCoy to many other aspects of that. And there was clearly in my mind she was going to be backing off. That's the perception I got. And then I looked at the comments of that episode, and
they were mad.
She was like, "Oh, now you believe the hype. You are now part of the Fed. Like, you go out to Israel." All the normal tropes that we hear down in her comments. Oh, you just quit on us. We were backing you, and now you quit because you met with Erica. She completely changed you. Right, the next day she was back at it. She completely flipped the switch.
And did you see her comment? Because she deleted it, but somebody had already grabbed it. Did you see her commenting? If I still have it, I'll send it to you guys. She said, I am really disheartened by, this isn't a verbatim, by these comments. How can you saw that one?
I remember it now. Yeah.
Because they were coming at her. Yeah. They're crazy. And so then we got Mitch, the child of the Zodiac killer.
Oh, Mitch was cool.
That's a wild case.
Wow.
It doesn't even.
I don't know why she would stand so much behind him. That's crazy. She didn't have to do that.
She did. He didn't have
She
to.
didn't
Arty.
have to do that
She
at
didn't
all.
have to do that.
She could have gotten into this any other way.
I know.
And she's not willing to let it go. She's like, "Yep,
No.
still true, still true." Well, does anybody know the status of his? I don't know, his GoFundMe. It's not GoFundMe. It's
I haven't kept up with that.
No.
Yeah. Let me. Did it get? Hopefully, it got taken down.
No, I definitely didn't get taken down. I know as of like a few days ago. I want to say it's up to like
Dang, that's nuts.
155,000.
Shut up. I'm so sorry.
Mhm.
Oh,
That's
I really hope
ridiculous.
so.
You know, Jay Witt thinks it's a money laundering scheme. I agree.
I don't know if it's money laundering. I think it's paying for him to come on and spew those lies. And
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. I mean, just from the very beginning of it all, and especially how the Gibson Go didn't even stick with his original name. It just immediately changed as soon as we found out his name was Mitch Snow, which I thought was hilarious. And
what
then
was it?
she
What was the name
immediately-
switch? I didn't see
Harry
it.
Myers. He
Harry
was
Myers.
Shut up.
originally that. Yeah. And then when we found out his name was actually Mitch Snow, and he never actually changed his name for a witness protection program or any of that garbage, she immediately just dropped the whole Harry Myers. And it's just Mitch Snow now. She hasn't even uttered Harry Myers, I think, since the day she first brought him up. Oh, here we go. He's raised $150,000 just about. He's right a
wow.
few bucks short.
there you go.
Wow.
Wow.
I would like to see where this money goes, honestly.
Well, I can tell you right now, his ex-wives who have never received any child support, they're going to get it.
Yeah. I hope
I
so.
hope we do.
Exactly that. I hope they get every penny of it because they deserve it.
Absolutely.
Just to have
Absolutely.
someone on and say, I saw a picture of a girl in a ponytail, and you don't forget those eyes.
And that you can pick out Brian Harpole and remember him 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
And look, the whole thing, like anybody that's in the military knows that they wouldn't be planning something at Fort Huachuca with conventional forces. It is the dumbest. I don't even have words for it. It's so dumb. Like the idea that conventional forces and a bunch of lieutenant colonels would risk their careers, that is completely illegal, obviously. And it definitely wouldn't happen to Fort Huachuca, where that entire task force is Task Force Southern Border is their job. Their mission is to aid and assist with Border Patrol operations. That's what they do. And it's a bunch of conventional forces down there doing that. And the idea that Mitch Snow would just happen to stumble in on, and that's the other crazy part of this is like, there's no claim to that.
Exactly.
The claim, he walked in and there's some lieutenant colonels in there, which is really weird to him, which is also like, clearly he's never been to a joint task force because that's all there is a bunch of lieutenant colonels, and usually a couple generals walking around. So
well, maybe it was confusing for him when he went into the gift shop portion of the museum there. And he saw some people standing there and he goes, oh, I get that was pointed out to me by somebody, and I ended up looking it up. Apparently there's an entire public side to Fort Huachuca too that you can actually just walk into. There's a museum, places like that. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think it would be too weird to see people there then. But I guess that part kind of slipped through the cracks.
That part wasn't important, Arty.
So yeah.
That part was important.
well, it would
Focus on.
well, I don't know.
So,
It's wild to say the least. Well,
I don't even know if he was there, to be honest. That's the funny thing. That's not even been
I've always
corroborated.
said that. I think he was there. I do think he was there, and I do think he got detained, and he probably did walk into the Joint Task Force headquarters, but that doesn't mean anything. I use the analogy all the time. I can go outside, take a picture of me in the woods, and then come back in here and tell you, hey, I saw Bigfoot, and look, here's the picture of me in the woods.
I know.
Bigfoot. Like
Exactly.
That's the level of logic that we're dealing with, and that's what they're willing to accept. That's all that matters, is that he was there. And this goes back to every material claim that she's ever made. What evidence do we have that the French was involved, the French Foreign Legion was involved in Charlie Kirk assassination? Zero.
We have Pierre. We have Pierre.
We do have Pierre.
Perry.
People were wearing a lot of maroon that day. What
were wearing
evidence do we have that Israel was involved at all? What none. What evidence do we have that the National Guard, as she originally said, or that the U.S. military was involved whatsoever? We have none.
Oh my gosh, no evidence.
What evidence do we have Egyptian planes were actually following TPUSA. And I love the fact that the original format they're going with is that, hey, they're following them based on a plus or minus 3-day overlap and a plus or minus 50-mile overlap. So these planes, Kirk's planes, lands in 3 days later, another Egyptian plane lands 50 miles away, and now we're saying, hey, they're definitely following Erica Kirk or TPUSA, whatever else. I mean, you got to be an idiot to believe any of this stuff. And that was the thing I think at the beginning for me was like, look, I'm going to keep everything directed at Candace. And at the time, I think that was appropriate. But now at this point, when it's her idiot followers pushing this stuff and causing as much harm as, like, it's time to, like, hey, you know what? No, number one, you believe lies. You have abandoned logic and common sense, and you are the problem. And you are immoral. You're just as evil as she is. And I don't know why. I don't know what has sucked you into this. But I think it goes back to what you were saying at the beginning of this, Arty, before we went live. You know, we were talking a little bit about this, and that is, you know, these people are starting out with some sort of preconceived notion and then trying to fill in the blanks to make that preconceived notion true.
Exactly. And like I said, I mean, I'm not even against the whole idea of what Candace could be talking about if she would just show some evidence, you know, even a little bit. It's like, hey, you could probably pull me over. It's the fact that I'm not willing to be stubborn and stay in my ways if evidence is presented. And the fact that I see so many people who are like, but she always shows receipts. And I'm like, well, can you show me any, where is she showing receipts? You know, she's talking about now the iMessage was not a Telegram message of Charlie apparently saying that he was going to be ended. And she's like, well, Erica lied to my face. It turned out it was an iMessage. And I'm like, based on what? Based on a guy that sent you a tip? You were right there in front of Erica face to face when you accepted that it was apparently a Telegram message somewhere. And he didn't even specify who. And we know for sure, look at what's going on in this country. And not even this country, just look at Canada. They just had a dose of their own version of a Trantifa guy. And it's like, yeah, I can understand why Charlie would be freaked out by that. Where's he going? Oh, he's going to a college campus? Oh, well, who hangs out there? It's definitely not Israel. I don't think Egypt hangs out there, but I do know that there's a lot of leftists, a ton of them, who absolutely hate his guts.
And we didn't have a single Israeli the days prior predict Charlie's death, but we did have multiple transvestites. You know,
go politically correct there. Wait,
and
is that
Charlie
politically correct there, or is that a slur?
I don't know.
I don't even know anymore.
I don't know. You can't really say anything anymore.
Right.
Everything's wrong. But Charlie, many times, and Candace, it's so embarrassing that you can just prove her wrong with her own words or call her out using her own words, because she said, Charlie told me many a time that he was going to die soon and he was going to die this way many times. And now he's coming to her in dreams, telling her many times. And Charlie said many times that the left was going to kill him.
Yeah.
And there are so many videos of him speaking on these college campuses and people coming up to him, being physical with him, throwing, water on him, ripping the hat off of his head. I mean, hello, I don't know why it's so far-fetched to believe the Tyler Robinson narrative. Now, I'm not saying that there can't be other things that went on behind the scenes. Obviously, there can be, but for her to she doesn't think Tyler had anything to do with it at all.
No, he wasn't even there. I do think, to set the record straight, I do think that recently in a podcast, not hers, it may have been what's that black guy? Anyways, he said something to the effect of, was it
the Officer Tatum?
Brandon Tatum?
No, Gaines.
Myron Gaines.
Myron Gaines. There you go.
Yeah.
Myron Gaines. I think she said something to the effect of, oh, he could have been involved and he could have been part of it, but he was never at UVU campus. I mean, look, I am so tired of like these different, for instance, Occam's razor being used incorrectly. Like Occam's razor, if we want to apply Occam's razor, it was Tyler Robinson. Like he was 3.5 hours away from his house. It's his
Mhm.
gun. His own family recognized the firearm. His own family saw him, recognized him on the surveillance footage. We have
Mhm.
DNA on the gun, DNA on the trigger, DNA on the spent cartridge, DNA on the unspent cartridges. We see that the cartridges were engraved. We find engraving equipment at his house. We find targets that he was practicing on that were shot in his house, unused targets. We have him confessing across multiple platforms. We have him confessing in text messages. They have GPS location from his
Oh,
cell phone that is going to put him directly on top of that roof in the exact shooting spot. We know they have surveillance footage that they haven't shared with him of
Mhm.
moving from behind that wall, moving out to the spot where he shot that round, and then
Mhm.
exhaled out of there. Like, and
Mhm.
that's the thing that really irritates me about Candace is all the little things that she does to obfuscate, to
Yeah.
confuse people and to cause chaos. Like like
Mhm.
so ridiculous. He had to scale the walls like Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly.
All of
Like
these
they didn't have a staircase.
exaggerations trying to make what is the most plausible makes the most sense
Oh, yeah.
implausible. And I'm with
Yeah.
you, Artie. Like, dude, I'm all about this. Tell me, like, I don't care if we find out that Israel was involved in this, I'm all about it. Like, let's find
Yeah.
a way to prosecute them. That would be
Yeah.
interesting
Absolutely.
to see if the French were
Yeah,
involved.
right.
Let's do that. Like, just give me some evidence that outweighs this evidence, and I'm good to go.
Mhm. When she says, like, "Yeah, guy," just to the point where she tries to make everything seem so ridiculous, scaling the walls like Spider-Man. She's like, "Yeah, but he just happened to go to Dairy Queen after. I don't think I would kill someone and then go to Dairy Queen after. Then, honey, you need to do a bit of research." And Nicholas Cruz, in Florida, he did the mass shooting in Florida at the school. Cannot remember the name of it, but when they arrested him, he had gone to McDonald's. If you look
Yeah.
back at a terrible true crime case, Shonda Scherer, she was brutalized, and they went to eat breakfast at a fast food restaurant when she was still in the trunk. Psychopaths do strange things because their brains are not normal. So that means nothing to me. Quit telling people, well, he went to Dairy Queen to get an ice cream cone. That means that he clearly had not just gone and shot a man. Shut up.
Yeah.
She's an idiot. You know
Yeah.
nothing.
I mean, he thought he did a great thing. That's what
Yeah.
he thought at the moment.
And he's not
Why wouldn't he
capable
be
of
proud of it?
Yeah.
he's not capable of
Yeah.
empathy or remorse, so it wouldn't be foreign for him to go and get a snack afterwards, coming down
Yeah.
from his high.
And the same argument can be said because I've heard a lot of people say, how can this untrained person go up there and he's nervous and he's afraid of being caught and he's able to get a shot off at 140 yards, which is not far, folks. Like
Mhm.
Exactly.
my kid was shooting 1,000 yards when he was 7. Like this is
Oh my gosh.
140 yards. There's a video of me shooting 140 yards offhand standing up. Not hard to do at all. But again, what you're doing is you are projecting your own sensibilities, the fact that you're not a sociopath or a psychopath onto this guy that he doesn't feel emotion. He doesn't feel bad about killing this guy. He thinks he's doing, just like you said, Artie, like the right thing. And
Mhm.
this was just an average, ordinary freaking Thursday for him. It's like it's not a big deal.
Absolutely. Yeah, to see him just so, I mean, look at him in any of his court appearances.
Yeah.
He doesn't look remorseful. He doesn't even
No.
look like he's that upset for being there.
No.
I mean, look at his lawyers also freaking out because TPUSA footage is probably going to get shown as well. So we kind of know where that's at now.
Mhm.
And Candace hasn't mentioned that whatsoever. I mean, it kind of tells all if she would just be, I'm surprised she hasn't even tried to live stream the courts. It goes against everything that she could possibly
Mhm.
be promoting at the moment. She could be doing that to give Tyler some defense, maybe, but not even so much of a word. I mean, she didn't even mention the Discord leaks that Turkey Tom covered,
No.
which
Because
are
she
absolutely damning in every way for the guy.
Well, one of
she
the
doesn't
things.
really care about sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say she doesn't really care about finding out about Charlie and his murder. She just cares about destroying what he built and his family. As
I agree.
that's all just a ruse to say, "Hi, I'm dedicated to finding out who killed Charlie." No, you're not. You couldn't care less. You hated Charlie. You hated Charlie. You don't
Yeah.
behave this way and try to destroy someone that you loved.
Well, one of the most telling things for me, because when I first realized what she was doing, again, this was probably about mid-November. I wasn't paying attention to her at all. And then I started seeing what was going on, and I started going back and watching her clips and And so I went back to when the charging documents were released. And when she's reading the charging documents, she actually never reads the charging documents. She has notes from the charging documents and kind of talking points that talk about some of the things, but she never actually goes through those charging documents. And that was intentional. She left so much of that, so much context and so much of the evidence intentionally out that, you can see that this was, it was engineered from the start, that she wasn't going to buy into these no matter what. And she wasn't going to allow her viewers to know what was going on, just like she never allowed her viewers or showed her viewers how easy it was to get on the roof, among many other issues.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
She likes to condition her audience before she shows them a piece of evidence. She say, what you're about to see is, she's a fantastic manipulator, and that's how she's been able to keep up the con for as long as she has. I'm going to tell you what you're about to see, and she'll she presents the conclusion she wants you to draw. Like, she prefaces it with that, and so it's very easy for her audience to do those things, and then they're hooked.
Yep,
exactly.
She that's exactly right. Let's hit just a couple of these super chats, and then maybe we'll play a few minutes of the current episode and see how crazy that gets.
Absolutely. Sounds great to me.
YouTube Jeremy Hambley, new video TRBF found in Texas. That's interesting.
Tyler Robinson, BF found in Texas. Wait. Oh, yeah. He covered that. Yeah. So Lance Twigs is not, he's no longer in any type of hiding or anything like that. He's been found.
Where was he in Texas?
He had gone on the
run, yeah.
Super sticker. Candace Owens' undoing will be her fans, and I will just watch. What do you guys think about that? I don't know that it's going to be necessarily her fans. I think it's going to get to the point to where, look, I think there's like 2%. Her real fans represent like 2% of the population. And I think as more people are made aware of what's going on, they're like, oh my God, this is crazy. This is ridiculous. I think most of these people are going to have the same reactions that you and I all have. And it's like, how can you just completely dismiss all of this evidence and say that there was, because most people aren't into social media. And if they are, they're not paying attention to what Candace says. I think most people are on the extreme periphery of us that are on social media a lot, that more or less do social media more than just a hobby or just for entertainment, right? So we're very, we have a perception of what's going on with the social media, and we have a perception of social media's perception, what I think is wrong as well. But I think ultimately this is going to be one of those things where it's like QAnon, where it's like we all realize it was BS from the beginning, and it was all meant to undermine the conservative movement and make conservatives look stupid, and that's what this is. And I think ultimately it's just going to fade. Like, people are just going to be made fun of all the time. Like, oh, you're a Candace cultist. Like, that's Candy follower is going to be a pejorative.
I think it definitely will get to that point. But I also think she does have a sleeping beast in her comment section, essentially telling her what to do. And I kind of think that if she doesn't capitulate, they're going to start kind of devouring her a bit. I'm not sure exactly which way that's going to go yet, but it's going to be hilarious to watch one way or the other.
And isn't that so sad that we're waiting for it?
For
her. Oh, Candace, all of this could have been avoided. All of it could have been avoided.
Yeah, she's definitely, she's stuck in a position where she has to go crazier and crazier every single time.
Yeah.
That's
dangerous.
It's what you do to get your audience. You have to keep doing to keep them. You have to keep doing to maintain the audience. That's all right.
Candace Owens claimed tonight Charlie's marriage was on the rocks, and Eric, see, here we go. And him were fighting the night before he was killed, and that's why Gigi woke up.
See, I'm so sorry. That's what I told you guys before we started. That just is, if ever an uppercut was warranted, she deserves a high five in the face with a chair. This woman. How dare you? So sorry.
We got Jay Witt in the chat. Thanks, Jay Witt.
Hey.
How are three of my faves all in one place? Let's make it a party.
And that guy's awesome.
I love
We love Jay Witt.
Absolutely.
Genetic Caribbean, been on the channel before. Gary, You won't believe it, but 3 Armenian women in Glendale got mad at me for speaking against Candace. One even refused to watch a video of her saying bunnies are satanic. It's a cult. God help us.
That bunnies are satanic,
Have you
but
guys
I did
watched
a
that
skit
video?
on that. No, I made a skit with it. Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
it's
That's funny.
fantastic. Yeah.
Okay, Arty and Edie, you will be judged. Peanut butter on French toast, yes or no?
Oh man.
That sounds good.
So I'm all for the toppings on anything. You know what I mean? I could put peanut butter on French toast.
If we
That's
make
not the
it
weirdest place peanut butter's been. I can guarantee you that.
a peanut
No,
butter
it's-
sauce.
It's far from the weirdest place to put it in.
No, let's melt it a little and then we can drizzle it on there. I'm all for that.
Absolutely.
I love peanut butter.
You know
I'm
what?
hungry.
I'm gonna try to commit to this. So, oh, by the way, folks, tomorrow on our YouTube channel, we're going to have at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We are going to have Ashton Forbes, and we're going to talk about all things UFOs, UAPs, MH370. Ashton's an interesting guy, and we're going to have fun with that. We're going to go put our tinfoil hats on and go down the conspiracy theory rabbit holes to the moon and back. So
That sounds sick.
make sure you guys
Heck
put us
yeah.
tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And we got CJ Correnti gifted 10 Paramount Tactical memberships. Thank you, CJ. You're the best. Thanks for supporting the channel. And folks, if you want to make sure you like, subscribe, throw a comment down, that helps. Once this video is done, once this live stream is done, come back, like the video, share our content. That really helps us out. And most importantly, go over to Arty Trollz channel, go over to Edie's channel, and make sure you subscribe to them as well. And just go through all their videos, like, comment, and share them. And let's get them put on the map the way that they deserve to. All
Yeah,
right.
thank you.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead and throw on the Queen of Lies. And let me get rid of that real quick. All right.
I wonder what she's wearing today, guys.
Looks like the same thing she was wearing the other day, or a very similar blouse there. Anyways,
Oh, I'll
play
take it.
3 days in a row. Crazy.
All right.
All right, you guys, straight to jail for questioning at least Erica. I don't care who's mad. I really do not care who wants to be upset after this episode. Really, you will be wasting your breath. You can spend $1 billion on influencers because this is all becoming increasingly inexplicable. You are asking me to be an idiot, actually, and I cannot do that for you. Someone once commented beneath this show that if the situations were reversed and there were this many verifiable lies that Charlie told regarding the murder or assassination of his wife, Charlie would be in prison awaiting trial.
fix that.
And I actually agree with that assessment. We are waiting.
That's why her outfit looks the exact same. Hold on.
Yeah. I was wondering. I was like, holy crap.
Let me see.
She's too rich to be doing that.
Arty, do you not see the awful things that she recycles? Her clothes. And
When she-
boys, the cloud sweater that was reminiscent of Mario level 5 Super Nintendo, the cloud one, $5,000
that.
cashmere sweater, $5,000.
Wow. That's
Please.
crazy. That's more expensive than any guitar I have in this room. That's crazy. Wow.
And yet she wants to hit her subscribers up for money to pay her legal fees now. That's why I tell people when they come for me in the comments, I'm like, please don't get this woman your money. I love you, please. Please
For a
don't get this woman your
$5,000
money.
sweater.
$5,000
She definitely
sweater.
hit a lot harder than probably most
awful
to get that.
Tweed jacket that she wears all the time. It's like $7,000. Okay, guys.
That's crazy.
Paying a lot,
That's some wild
paying a lot
stuff.
to look ugly.
That's a lot of guitar money to just be
Oh.
thrown out.
All right. Today's episode is titled "Who Removed Charlie's Wedding Photo and Why?" Well, we all know why, because whoever did it killed Charlie. Clearly,
Exactly. She
that's
couldn't just want it back home.
no,
Definitely
or
not.
just put it in a different spot.
Oh, heavens to Betsy. What is
But-
this outfit?
Guys, I
Candace?
actually think it's appropriate to bring Kid Rock back, bring him on the stage right now, because I loved his song with Sheryl Crow. It was a big hit. You know, I put your picture away.
Girl.
That one,
Oh,
very relevant today,
don't do that.
because what's trending all over the internet right now is Picturegate. Who put that picture away? That's what they want to know. It refers to a picture of Erica and Charlie on their wedding day, which Charlie had in his home office, that suddenly went missing after his death. And I will tell you why the internet is on fire about that. Also, they did just go ahead and fire Carrie Prejean for standing up for Catholics down in Texas, Catholics and sensible people, because she refuses to worship Israel, which Catholics cannot do and moral people should not do. It's crazy, but ethno-supremacy does in fact go against the teaching of the church. Welcome back to Candace.
You're so stupid.
Yeah.
Ethno-supremacy.
Hey, Laura, welcome to the Candace podcast. It sounds like you might be new here. What we've been doing these past 5 months is trying to figure out who killed Charlie Kirk. And while we have definitively uncovered a lot, that process has been somewhat delayed and complicated by the fact that we don't have access to Charlie's phone, Erica's phone, Dan Flood's phone, Mikey McCoy's phone logs, Frank Turek's phone. Were we actually granted by the power of the courts the right to subpoena all that information? I suspect we would have maybe solved this thing.
The insanity is this chick really believes that she thinks she should have subpoena power. Like she takes herself that level of serious that she thinks that somebody should just come along and be like, you know what, I deputize you. You have full access to everything. Just go out there, go get with the NSA, the CIA, whatever you need, you should get it because you're the only truth seeker here. It is a level of narcissism and cluster B that I've never seen before.
She's a malignant narcissist. She's frightening.
Before his memorial.
Crazy. Before
the quote unquote event of the century. So thank you. We welcome that opportunity, Laura. That is literally what we are doing here. Okay. That aside, something else that began trending last night, some internet sleuth, who I should have figured out who this was. Full credit to whoever that internet sleuth was. They detected an interesting difference in the Charlie Kirk home studio set. So he has his studio at home and a studio at the office. And at his home studio set, he has a wedding picture. And I'm going to explain to you why this wedding picture suddenly matters. So Charlie's last live appearance before he was assassinated was, from his home studio at least, was on September 8th. This is the date that I believe Erica was actually at Fort Huachuca. Well, despite having just arrived on a flight back from Tokyo shortly before midnight on the 7th, Charlie Kirk was awake and he did 1 hour of the Charlie Kirk show on the 8th from his studio, where he recapped what he loved about Korea and Tokyo. And in the background, you can see that Charlie has a wedding photo. Okay, this is the morning of September 8th, just to put that in your mind really quickly. Here is that wedding photo behind him, which you can see. And I also think that that's available on both of their Instagram accounts. Okay. On September 9th, he went into the office. And by September 10th, midday about, he was assassinated. We are told that following that tragic ending, Erica could not even or didn't want to move any of his items out of their place in their bedroom, bathroom. That's what she told the New York Times a few days later when she welcomed them into that apartment, the one that you're seeing there. Well, then fast forward to December 12th, and as a part of her Shabbat Shalom PR blitz, she conducted her very first interview from Charlie's home office. She gave that interview to Glenn Beck. And during that interview, she was playing the part, as you are about to see, of this is my first time back in his office. And she keeps looking down and she says, sorry, I'm looking down. I'm just looking at all of these things that Charlie left over on his desk. The obvious insinuation to the public being that she had not yet traversed into that space. She had not gone through the things. She had not seen the last things that he wrote on the notepad. And yet, curiously, that wedding photo is missing. Okay, the internet was correct to call that out. Take a listen to what she tells Glenn Beck.
I'm actually sitting in his office. This is his home office, and I have not been in here for a very long time. And I've just been, that's part of the reason why I keep looking down. It's not because I'm not.
Wait.
So what would you
That's
say
the first time
of this room that's not in view of the camera?
What was that?
I said, what percentage of this room do you think you'd say that is not within the view of this camera?
The majority of it.
Oh, yeah.
She could be holding the picture. The picture could have been buried with Charlie. She could have taken it down because it was too painful to see. If this were my David, you wouldn't see one photo of him in this house. I wouldn't be able to look at it because it would hurt me. So that's what I have to say about that.
Or she could have walked in and saw it and grabbed it off the shelf, and maybe she has it sitting in front of her. We don't know where it's at.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
I will tell you, folks, if you don't know, Newsweek did put out an article, and I'm just reading it right here. I have it pulled up. A Turning Point USA spokesperson told Newsweek Erica moved it to a lower shelf when her daughter asked to see it, so she could hold it. She could hold and look at the photo. It's still on the studio shelf, just lower down where her daughter can look at it whenever she's in there with her mom. So that's
there we go.
Despicable. She's despicable.
Did
She's
you notice
the low-hanging fruit?
Did you notice what Candace said, though? She said that this was the first time Erica had been back into that office, and Erica did not say that. She said, it's been a very long time since I've been in here. That could mean a number of different things. If this is the very first time I've been in here seated talking into this microphone, I don't know if she had done that before or not. Maybe it's for an extended period of time. Maybe she went in there right after that happened. Maybe that's where maybe there's only one copy of that specific photo in, like, I don't know, this portion of the area. She could have grabbed it up, taken it somewhere else, not entered that room again. Who knows? That's just kind of a crazy assumption to make, but notice the language. Candace always changes the language to her favor.
Well, and on top of that, they could have been going in there minutes before that to set up this interview, and her daughter's in there following along and says, hey, or, you know, she walks in there, looks around the background. She may not even have looked at the desk. It really doesn't matter. The point is like, there's lots of ways that we can say her statement is true, and she could have still moved the photo. And like, you have to be really disingenuous and you really ungenerous to sit there and pick this apart and say, oh, she was lying. This is proof that she was lying. Like,
agreed.
You know,
how many times I change pictures in this house, and it doesn't mean that David and I are getting divorced. You're going to jump to that conclusion that because of the,
or how often my kids grab photos right off the wall. It's unbelievable. Like no matter what you tell them, they're doing it. And it's just like, you know, I have a 5 and a 3-year-old. So right around the same age as Charlie's kids. And they do it. They do that. They will climb. I mean, you just got to be on them.
Yep. And again, it's like you said, it's low hanging fruit. It's cheap. It's nasty. It's disgusting.
Yeah. Nasty. Yes.
That's all the things Candace are.
Not wanting to look at you. It's because like there are so many treasures in here. Like for instance, like this piece of paper, he wrote on everything. He has papers everywhere. This says, it's the priorities. It says family, children, legacy, kids number 1, versus careerism, consumerism, and loneliness. That's interesting. I don't know. I could spend hours in this at this desk, but my point is with little things like that is that he would sit here on Sundays writing, using his journal, like going through all these drawers, and he was preparing for the week ahead.
Oh, this fool. I hope her microphone dies permanently.
You hear her say that she had not been in there in a long time. So the internet was correct to spot that oddity. If this really is your first time in his office, the first time looking down at his desk, who moves the frame behind his head? No person in their right mind would go into the home of a grieving widow and move a photo of her and her husband from their wedding day without explicit permission. So what actually happened there? We have a couple of options. Let's go through them. Option A, which I just want to say is my favorite option always. Andrew Colvett went rogue. Andrew Colvett went rogue. He was over there. And the next thing you knew, he was fumbling and bumbling in the office. And he was like, and this wedding picture is coming with me for no reason. I might even tweet about it. He just can't help himself, Andrew Colvett. He's out of control. He's raging through Charlie's belongings. That's one of the options. Then there's an option B, which was the internet's immediate reaction. They said, Erica removed it. Why would she remove it? Erica is evil. No. Why would she do this thing? But I would like to push back on that notion. I do not accept that option at all. Definitive.
I mean, she's being so generous.
She's just fluffing this up for those super chats, I think. Like, what is even the point? She could just throw out at least a little bit of crumb of evidence of any of the crap she's stated, but no. Let's just fluff this.
And again, we can use her own words against her. I just did a little montage on Twitter where she said, Erica made Charlie happy. And Charlie made Erica happy. They made each other happy. Charlie loved Erica. Erica loved Charlie. Girl, she doesn't know her show is recorded, y'all. She doesn't know that there's a camera recording her. That the internet is forever.
No, and you can definitely go back and find all the things that she has later contradicted, including you can't get past the fact that every time that she puts forth a new theory of who killed Charlie Kirk, like those things are mutually exclusive from the last. When this is the key, the French assassins are the key, the French and Israelis, and now it's the military at Fort Huachuca, and the French and the Israelis weren't around at all, and that episode was going to be the explosive episode where the United States is going to have to come out and admit that the U.S. military was involved with Charlie Kirk's assassination. I haven't seen that yet.
Really do not believe that is what happened, because that would be the exact opposite of the very intentional PR messaging that has come out of Turning Point USA since Charlie died. At every waking moment, even when Charlie was lying in his casket, they were ever intentional. They wanted the public to recognize that Erica was Charlie's husband. Erica's husband was gone.
What?
Erica and Charlie, Erica. Okay. She even intentionally used phrases like "my Charlie" in her initial speech, which was written in large part by Blake.
She just short circuit? Like, what was that?
She did short circuit. Yes, Arty, she did. My Charlie. Yeah. How many times did you, in this episode, have you heard me say "my David"?
Yeah.
She doesn't know what love is. She doesn't know.
Like Neff, by the way, I'm told. Plus, in subsequent fundraising letters and emails, they wanted the public to know that it was "quote unquote" my Charlie, to remind them over and over again that's her husband. That's her husband. The intention was to lay, of course, the emotional groundwork for the sudden transfer of power. The idea being,
she definitely knows a thing or two about laying the emotional groundwork.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I don't think we needed any groundwork laid down that Erica was Charlie's wife there.
No.
I don't think any of that was necessary. I think we kind of got the picture on that. I don't know what she's talking about. That's a crazy assumption to make.
Well, it's just a crazy thing to point out. Like, she was up there and talking about saying that Charlie was her husband. That's crazy. Why would she say that over and over again?
God forbid if my wife ever did that. Oh, man.
She's actually half of Charlie, so nobody should question anything. Charlie thought she was great, and you should think she's great. Nobody should be thinking or asking a question whether or not she's qualified to be the CEO and chairman. What's my point I'm making? No, Erica is not the person that moved that picture. In fact, it would be much more likely that Stacey Sheridan would have added that picture to the background. They would have said, okay, we're in his office. What are we going to do? Oh, let's put up some stuff behind to remind people that this is her Charlie and how happy they were and how in love they were.
What's it mean that she's not
really only leaves up.
What'd you say, Arty?
I said, what's it mean that she's not doing that then? So the fact that they're not doing that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what is it, Candace? Get to the punchline here, baby.
Us with one other option. And that option would be that Charlie himself moved the frame. And he would have had to do this on the 9th, the day before his assassination. And what would have happened thereafter is Erica simply didn't realize it. It's actually, if you think about it, a rather minor detail, and they certainly would have been completely consumed with everything that was going on. They would not have been focusing on whether or not the background matched when she first sat down at that desk in the wake of his death. Not even the internet sleuths recognized it. We've been spending hours on this, and we did not recognize it until now. About 6 months on, people are going, wait, this is
this is what desperation and grasping at straws looks like.
Wait, but look at that. Look at the wedding picture. Do you see the wedding picture of her and George?
Mm-hmm.
You do?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's not there. There isn't one. Okay. There's not one behind her.
There's a picture over on the right-hand side of the screen. I don't know what that is.
That's not a wedding picture. We know the wedding pictures. But where's your wedding picture, Candace? If that's the mark of a strong marriage, I would like to see that photo.
Yeah.
I would like to see.
And guys apparently never, they always wear their wedding ring at all times.
Arty, are you not wearing your wedding ring?
It's over here on the desk. Okay. I don't want to. It scratches the crap out of my guitars.
That means you killed your wife. Let's be real.
Yeah, exactly.
Where
she's
is she, Arty?
well, I can't say where, but
Okay.
you know. Now, if anything, I'd be the one. I'd get myself probably in a similar situation as Charlie there if anything like that happened. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Just happy wife, good life. You know what I mean?
Hold on, going back real quick to this whole conversation. Edie, you said you said that she released. I don't think I've seen this. You said that at one point, Candace released a montage of Charlie and basically saying that there was no Candace without Charlie.
No, the montage I was referring to was I spliced together all the clips talking about where she was saying that Erica loved Charlie, Charlie loved Erica, they made each other happy, blah blah blah. Her tribute episode to Charlie, the end of it, her sign off, she said, "There's no Candace without Charlie."
Yes, that's what I was talking about.
Mhm.
So she did say that there's no
Mhm.
Candace without Charlie.
Yes.
Could you imagine if some dude that you used to know died? And then when he died, you told your husband or just said it publicly, like, there's no, you were like, there's no Edie without Arty Trollz.
Yeah,
Shameful, right?
that would be.
Let me
Yeah,
tell you, ain't no way any man would be okay. Would you gentlemen be okay with your wives talking
not,
like this
not in a million
for
years.
5 months that her entire channel is about another woman's husband?
Well, George Farmer is pretty good friends with Milo, I'm pretty sure. And
Well, that's
You
what
know,
I'm saying.
I
That's what I'm
think-
saying. Ain't no
Yeah.
well, in my very first video, the video that Jay Witt shared of me, I said this guy is batting for the other team because ain't no way a man would be okay with his wife talking about another man like this, obsessing
shouldn't be
about another
okay, that
man.
is, like,
Well,
Yeah,
I'll
that's
play
crazy.
some devil's advocate on that. Like, I do think that Ruben was talking about the fact that she sat in front of him and just talked trash about Charlie Kirk for
Mhm.
2 hours straight.
Mhm.
Yep.
I think that is the case. I think that she and Charlie had a big falling out. She had
Yeah.
nothing but contempt for Charlie, and it shows every now and then. And I think that's what's really going on here. And I think here's if I was a dishonest piece of crap and my wife was a dishonest piece of crap, like I think we have going on with Candace and George, and he knew that she hated him, what was creating this narrative and creating this whole spectacle, and it was all fake, he probably wouldn't have a problem with that at all. That's
Okay. I see it.
that along with what you just proposed, and I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 other scenarios is the only thing that makes sense. But
well,
Minor
I
detail.
want
that-
to. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
I do want to add one thing. You did hear Candace kind of admit that like 2 days ago, right?
No,
Did
what
you hear about how the reason why she quit TPUSA, her new
Oh yeah.
revised reason?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Apparently, Charlie Kirk lied directly to her face
Lie to her face.
In the
about some
elevator.
guy named Ike. Yeah, that's enough to literally turn over your entire $100,000 to $1 million position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To burn an
Yeah.
entire company to the ground because he had lunch with the dude without her knowing.
How did
That's
she
a
know that
little
he had
weird.
lunch? How
Kinda
did she
creepy.
know that she had lunch with him though?
Exactly. That's a
She's
weird
been
one too.
stalking him. Okay, continue. Sorry.
feels kind of major. So here's that is the option that I think most likely happened. It was a genuine oversight. And guess what, guys? Our toddler clues with my dog Blue
Oh,
are beginning
heavens.
to add up. Okay. Let's start with that as our very first clue, which is, of course, Erica.
I just want to point out that
Oh, yeah.
she thinks her audience is retarded. And this is the one
Oh,
thing
man.
that I agree with her on. Like
Yeah.
that's why this works. This Blue's Clues
Yeah.
and the Muggles and Harry Potter and the Sumerian ancient technology. That's why this shit works, is because her audience is retarded, and she's
Yeah, when you put it that way.
she's speaking to them at their level, and I
Okay.
can appreciate that. She knows her audience. She knows them well. So
Blue's Clues.
Sitting at Charlie's desk without the wedding photo in the background. Okay. There's our clue right there.
Oh.
What it
No,
means.
she didn't.
Let's keep going. Certainly an odd redesign, but without more clues, we can't put together the picture. It's just not how this game works.
tell you.
Candace would make it.
There are more
Guys.
clues. There's always more clues in every episode. because that
She put the paw print on
Listen,
there, y'all.
listen. For those of you that are candy cultists, your leader thinks you're an idiot, and I agree with it. I'm just letting you guys know that. That's why you're getting the Blue's Clues treatment. So she,
I think she should start advertising helmets. That would be amazing.
No.
Like, I really do think it would make a great fit.
guess what the letter of the day is, guys? Letter B.
We don't know, but we know.
We don't know.
Just
I feel
right
like I'm
across the
watching
front.
Pee-wee's Playhouse right now.
And when we get into, and we go backward and we pay attention to things that Erica told us, we begin to re-examine what I now deem to be an objectively unintelligible story about how Charlie was so excited for the tour, despite the fact that he speaks at college campuses virtually every week. But he was so excited specifically for this event that he couldn't sleep, and also something about his daughter being in bed, and he had to go have a good night's sleep. I want you to listen to this now with new ears in retrospect. And if you see a clue, I want you guys to shout at the screen. Say, a clue. Let's
We're
listen.
going to do this?
For him that night, he was so excited. I mean, he just was like, I can't wait. It's going to be the best. And he got up around 2:45, 3-ish to go into the kitchen to grab a snack. And our daughter had woke up around that same time. We live in a small space, so you can kind of hear when everyone's kind of shuffling around. And so she came to our room and she stayed in our bed. And he always loved when Gigi slept in our bed because she's, little ones, they like curl up inside of you and like they're just nuzzled in. But you
crazy.
also know that it can be very acrobatic when a 3-year-old is in your bed and somehow their feet end up on your face. So I said, I want you to have a good night's sleep. Go ahead and sleep in her room. And I'll turn the air down so it's nice and
I didn't even get the shout out to the screen. She took it from me.
What the heck? What was the clue?
That was the clue that she told
feels like the
Charlie to
Hardy
go sleep
Brothers.
in Gigi's room. Because you don't ever do that. I mean,
I guess not.
ever, right?
Only every
Artie?
night, but
And
Okay.
and by the way, like this goes back to, I have no idea what the norm is in Charlie's household. Neither do you.
Mhm.
right.
Like, and neither does Candace Owens. And so, like, I don't know what normal is like. This might be an everyday thing, but because it's not normal in her house, because she does this all the time. She projects her own thoughts, feelings, emotions, and her perceptions, which are based on very small life experiences, because she is just ignorant of the world. That's just a fact.
So ignorant.
Absolutely.
If it's not normal to her, then it's not only not normal to someone else, it's now suspicious as well. And
Exactly.
let me throw a Blue's Clue indicator on the screen.
It's just amazing. That's wonderful.
Well, gosh, she'd probably drop kick her kids out of bed. Get out of here. I got to get a full 8 hours.
I mean, right now my daughter's going through a weird fear. At night, she see all the spots that you see when the lights go out. For some reason, that freaks her out. She's for the past 3 weeks, she's been right in my room right around 2-3 a.m. I go put her back in bed. I lay down on the floor.
Oh.
It's absolutely every night for the past 3 weeks. But I mean, that's just what happens. Kids are like that.
It's not suspicious.
Nothing's weird about it at all.
But let's get
I just want you to get a good night's sleep so you can be amazing tomorrow. And so Gigi and I stayed in our room. And that morning he woke up super early and he came into our bedroom, into the bathroom, because that's where his wedding ring was and his necklace. And he came in and he grabbed that. And then he left. I didn't even get to give him a kiss goodbye.
Oh, Erica.
Oh, what's that? In the chat, people are saying a clue. Did you guys see clues? Oh, okay. Let me revisit that. Let me actually reiterate.
Oh my God.
She's a psychopath. Not to have any compassion for Erica. She's disgusting. She is so gross. To make a mockery out of this.
If I were a subscriber of Candace, I would absolutely unsubscribe being talked down to like this. This is insane.
With the blue paw print.
That's actually angry. That's infuriating.
It's going to double her subscribership.
What Erica is saying happened the night before, because it doesn't make any sense. She says Charlie was so excited, and then she quotes, he was like, I can't wait. It's going to be the best. End quote. It's a quotation from Charlie. I can't wait. It's going to be the best. Okay. Can I ask why?
No, you can't.
Why was UVU going to be the best? Has Charlie never been to UVU before? No, he has actually. He's been with me. I've done UVU with him. I honestly have done a lot of college events. I've never seen this level of excitement to go sit down with a bunch of teenagers, mostly who are overcoddled by their parents and who are going to be shouting all sorts of questions like you. It was going to be the best. We already did it. Why was it going to be better? I feel offended.
I think Charlie thought it was going to be better because maybe it was the first time he'd done UVU without Candace. I mean, it definitely going to be better.
Maybe it's the first time he had done UVU since Trump got it off. That was a big deal for Charlie. So I can see why it would be exciting for him. Sorry, Arty, I think I cut you off. Continue.
No, you're good. It's just, I mean, look at what UVU was. It was the first day back on the campus tour. It was right after the heels of summer vacation. Of course, he's refreshed. He's had 3 months off. He's not, he's ready to get right back onto it. Yeah, I see every reason why he'd be excited about that and why it's going to be the best. This whole new season is now a Trump season. And then they get to build up onto the midterms. It makes absolute total sense. Like, she's not even thinking about that.
Well, and you can even see the footage of him getting on the vehicle and coming out excited to throw hats out, excited to meet all the students out there. I mean, that was very obvious to me. So again, this is another issue where she's taking something very common and not only in building it up. Like, there's no way you could just present this and be like, here's what happened. Here's what happened. What's your assessment of it? To get her audience, her Blues Clues audience, the ones that are like practicing, trying to bite their own ear. Like,
exactly. Man.
So, you got to build them up to this to even buy into any of this. But these people are just sitting there ready to be programmed. They're in receive mode. Just dump it into my brain. Just pour it in there and give it to me. Oh, look, Clue.
Thought we had
here we go.
a good experience up at UVU. Certainly wouldn't have described it as the best and wouldn't be on the brink of my seat looking to go back, itching to go back to UVU. That's weird. I just would like to ask why. She then says that Charlie woke up for a snack at 2:45 in the morning. And apparently he was so loud, the apartment's small, and maybe it was his excitement. He's like, yeah, UVU. Yeah, I'm so excited. Who knows? Okay, we're not clear on that.
She's crazy.
I don't think that's how that went.
I caught it too. I was just going to leave it alone.
I think
This is
Candace has been to a
embarrassing.
few Diddy parties with Kanye.
No.
I get in trouble. I get up in the middle of the night for snacks all the time. Not necessarily wake up and get up, but I'm, a lot of times I'm not falling asleep before 3. So like many times I'll get up at like 2:30. Next thing you know, I'm having a bowl of cereal, and it never fails. My wife comes and slams the door and let me know that I woke her up in the kitchen. So there's nothing crazy about this, but this is definitive proof right here, folks, that Erica killed Charlie. That's what this is. That's where this is going.
He was excited. He was excited.
He had a snack.
He was hungry.
He was hungry.
He woke up to get the snack because he was excited.
He could have been hangry.
Hey.
He was just
hangry?
dropping a Blues Clue.
Yeah.
He
could have been hangry.
And then he took his ring off and threw it at the wedding picture, thus breaking the frame, and he threw it in the garbage. I've solved it.
But the implication is that's what woke up her 3-year-old daughter at 2:45 in the morning. That's not when toddlers at the age of 3 wake up, okay? These are sleep-trained toddlers.
Oh, toddlers never wake up at 3.
There is only one kind of toddler, and they don't wake up.
God dang,
This
did she like
fool.
put shock collars on him or something? Is this like another Hassan gate?
I know.
They're in their kennel. They're in their kennel. Wow.
They're in their beds. They know not to get up.
No, don't you wake up.
Wow.
My
That's a
nanny
wild
never
statement.
woke me up at 2 a.m. Let me know that my toddler was up.
Okay. Gigi wakes up at 2:45, 3-year-old
Don't
kid
mention her name.
3-year-old.
who should be in the REM stage of sleep.
Oh,
Toddlers knock out. Maybe Gigi is a light sleeper. It's also
See, she's talking about the
just
kids, y'all.
curious that they're all awake. It's 2:45 a.m. in the morning. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, what I will say is I've never seen one of her episodes with so many receipts. I mean, this is definitive.
I know.
hard fact proof. Like, there's only one type of toddler. No toddlers are different. No toddlers have ever woken up at 2 in
She
the
brought
morning.
up REM sleep This
REM
is the REM cycle of sleep. These are sleep
Everybody knows
trained
it.
toddlers.
Everybody
And
knows
toddlers sleep when they are trained and they don't wake up.
because they're trained.
I have so much that Candyland Biker Babe 7000 is going to say tomorrow. So much.
But the resolution, she's clear on the resolution to this sort of pre-dawn fracas is that Gigi is going to sleep in Charlie's bed.
You know what this was? This was a sleep kerfluffle. That's what this was.
A debacle
Yeah.
A debacle.
on the side of the macabre.
Macabre.
Mm-hmm.
And because she wanted him to be amazing and rested. Well, first off,
Shocker.
you said it's 2:45, 3 a.m. I think, I feel like the train has already left the station in terms of being rested. I want to remind you guys, Charlie is then he has a flight scheduled to leave at 6:30 a.m. So if you're up at 3, we can already say goodbye to the idea of feeling amazing for the next day's flight, which is at 6:30 a.m. And if you were really able to power down that quickly and power back up, you probably want to do that in your own bed. Usually people, when they go overseas or even just sleep in a different bed other than their own, maybe they're in a hotel locally for a long time, you just can't wait to get back in your own bed. I think that's generally speaking, you're like, yes, I'm back in my own bed. And if I want a good night's sleep, I'm going to do that in my own bed, not in my toddler's bedroom.
How does she
This
know
stuff-
this? Like,
Yeah, that's
Yes.
wild.
let me throw you guys a real world scenario here. We had, which is now on our bed. We bought a guest bedroom set, right? And
Mhm.
it had this mattress, and I would get up and go sleep. It was so much more comfortable than our mattress all the
Mhm.
time. You know,
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe he preferred Gigi's bed.
Yeah.
We don't know, but what we do know is
Well-
that this is a definitive clue,
Definitive
evidence
proof. Mhm.
from
I mean, it's
from murder.
obvious to me what happened. I mean, it seems to me that she probably has a twin bed, and Gigi wanted to sleep with her mommy.
Yes.
Sleeping in a twin bed with her mom kind of sucks. So Charlie probably went into the other room, full size or twin, something like that, and he went and slept there. I mean, it just seems like common sense. Gives them both a good night's sleep. That's how my wife and I do that very often. You know, I'll
Well,
either
you're
sleep
normal.
down on the floor next to the kid, or I'll swap out and I'll sleep in my kid's bed. I mean, seems pretty obvious
Yeah.
to me anyway.
For normal parents, yes. We don't know what's going on at Lord Farmer's
I don't want to know. That'll
in
freak
its
me out.
cellar.
And assume that
Yeah.
bed is not the same size as the size of their bed.
Oh
But
god.
Erica, whatever, feels like it's an opportunity for him to feel amazing at 3 a.m. and to go into Gigi's bed. That's the best place.
I also want the candy cultists out there to know, look, if you aren't shouting at the screen like we are right now, you got a broken brain. I'm just letting you know. You have a broken brain.
That is a
Because
fact.
none of this makes sense. None of this can go into a normal brain and come out like, yep, that makes sense. That's sensible. That's
Mm-hmm.
smart.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you hear what
Absolutely.
she said? She said REM sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
My kid never woke up.
Oh,
Like
tons.
anybody out there with a toddler, like your toddler's never woken up in the middle of the night. Never.
Not if they're sleep
Used to do
trained,
that.
Gary.
That's sleep trained. They don't have bladders. Don't worry
No.
about that.
Exactly.
Or Gigi's room. Okay. While Gigi sleeps in her mother's bed, just little swapsies there at 3 a.m. in the morning, totally casual. I'm starting to get a feeling that there might have been another reason that the daughter woke up, but stick with me.
Yeah,
Maybe there's noise, not from excitement, but maybe an argument.
Oh.
Maybe there was an argument. That would make more sense to me, especially when we add in how she concludes that portion.
Maybe they heard Bigfoot breaking into the house.
Yeah.
Maybe
Santa Claus.
the house is haunted.
Tooth Fairy.
Maybe I don't know.
Easter
Yeah.
Bunny.
Maybe
I
they
mean, you could
caught
throw anything in there.
the Slender Man walking through the house.
There's
I
a
don't know.
meeting of mythological creatures in the den.
There was a unicorn.
It got a little
Came out
bit
the
loud.
closet.
Maybe
Freaking
Charlie
so
just
many
had bad
things.
gas.
Or maybe Charlie, maybe his time traveling self from the future came back and went
Oh,
kerplunk.
Maybe.
And- Hmm?
Well, maybe
Yes.
he was asleep. The current Charlie was asleep the entire time in the bed, and it was the time traveling Charlie that was up getting a snack.
We've-
yeah.
oh my gosh,
All come
yes.
together now. We got
Yes,
this. I
Because
think we
I
got
bet
it. Yeah.
that is brilliant.
the current Charlie, I bet, was sleep trained. But
We need to
maybe-
write this down.
Maybe when he came back in time, it was a different time period because I'm sure at that point Charlie was definitely in REM sleep.
For
So there's no
sure.
way to wake up. But maybe when he came back in time, it doesn't, or maybe he was just up. So now
Mhm.
he's time traveling. It makes you
Mhm.
hungry too. You need
Yes.
some
Yeah.
cereal.
He was a
Mhm.
Romanian
Expect-
sleeper agent.
Mm-hmm.
By telling us that
yeah.
Charlie took off his wedding ring
Oh.
during that same night, which is why he, of course, then had to put it back on the next morning. And Erica says that he snuck in the next morning to put that wedding band on.
And-
I immediately clocked that. Even when that interview was live, I said, that's weird, just because I know Charlie, but I couldn't explain that to the audience. I know
Yeah,
Charlie.
you
Charlie's
know
the kind of
Charlie.
person who could sleep with his boots on. Like this little
Okay.
ring. I don't know virtually any men. Truly, I don't know any. But obviously, I'm assuming there are. Maybe you've got a funky little band, and maybe your hands swollen with summer. I don't know that like
Maybe you're a peasant. And you got a funky little
I can't. You got a funky little band that
freaking
swells.
peasant Blues Clues.
It's not
freaking people.
platinum.
meticulously take
Let them
that little
be
band off. Charlie doesn't strike me as the type of person who would do that. I said that seems a little
married
off.
to him.
I-
You haven't
Has he
even
ever
talked to
said
him in 4
anything?
years. You've never been married to him. You never slept in the same house with him. Like, just shut up.
Also
And therein
want
lies
to
the
add,
reason that she's doing this. It's an interesting dynamic here because she hates him. She hates Charlie, but she was also infatuated with him. Okay. She wanted to be where Erica is. She wanted to be Mrs. Kirk. She did. But she was still jealous of Charlie and his success
Mhm.
and wanted all of the acclaim, all of the accolades, everything that Charlie was doing, because she would never in any lifetime, any time traveling, astral projecting lifetime, be able to do what Charlie did. Okay. So she was infatuated with him. She wanted him, also hated him, and didn't want him to surpass her in fame, fortune, and success.
Influence.
Okay. Influence, all of those things. But what you're seeing, this crash out of epic proportions, it all stems from the fact that she wants to be Erica. I knew how many times are we going to hear her say that? I know Charlie. I've already been to UVU with Charlie. I was there before you, Erica, with Charlie. I've been in hotel rooms with Charlie. I've seen him sleeping with his boots on. I know that he didn't take off his ring. I know this, and this about Charlie. Candy cultists watching. Say whatever you want. Okay. You can go die on this hill, die on the hill of candy. Can you honestly, you don't even have to say it out loud. Don't put it in the chat. If some woman was talking about your dead husband, talking like this about your dead husband and trying to make it seem like she knew your husband better than you did, would you honestly say that you wouldn't want to high five her in the face with a chair? I just want you to think about that. And maybe you'll see some of the light that we're trying to get you to come to. Come to the light. That's all I have to say, gentlemen.
Got anything to add to that, Arty?
What?
Oh man, it's just crazy to watch her absolutely leap to every possible conclusion, fabricate things in her head, and then try to put it out there to the public like, oh, they had to have had a fight. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, to not have to never take off your wedding band, that's kind of a weird thing to me. Like, my wife, she's a nurse. She definitely doesn't wear her wedding band, on putting gloves over it. It'll cut the gloves right open. There's just no way to do that in nursing. I have these things behind me. When you have a ring up on your finger and you're sliding up and down a guitar neck, it just absolutely shreds the thing up. So, I have it off all of the time. When we go out in public, we have them on. It's to a good understanding when we're out in public that we put them on. But to not have them on, like to not take it off in the house, like I'm not showering with a ring on my finger. That seems like a silly thing to do, in my opinion. Maybe other people do it. I don't know. It's a piece of jewelry. It's a piece of metal. I mean, it's not that it's not your vows and your wedding and all that, and that it symbolizes your marriage. But at the same time, like, it's not super. There's a reason why they don't attach them to your finger and make it to where it doesn't come off.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really, it's a silly thing to sit there and say that this man would have had his ring on his finger the entire time
Yeah,
without
no,
it ever coming off. That's weird.
all rings like irritate my wife's skin, and she literally, no matter what she has on there, it like gives her a rash. So she doesn't wear it around the house. She actually takes her rings off, and then when we do, just like you talked about, like when we do go out, she puts her rings on. So it is crazy. But
I don't wear a ring.
of course.
I have my husband's initials tattooed. My husband has lost 3 wedding bands. That's my only tattoo, by the way, but he's lost 3 wedding bands. I couldn't care less because I know he's married. I know he's mine. And women know not to approach him. But that doesn't make a difference. Like, that's
We don't even know that Harold's real. Okay. I'll just say that.
This little tidbit. Erica is, as you're going to see, exceedingly uncomfortable discussing Charlie's final day. Fox News had to use a lot of cuts. A lot of, now that I'm telling you that and you watch, you're going to go, oh yeah, they're cutting and kind of like putting her answer in a different place, very obviously and poorly edited out entire portions when Jesse asks her a fairly simple question. Tell me about the day before the shooting. That would be Charlie's last full day on Earth. Take a listen to how she responds to that.
Tell me about the day before the shooting.
He was at the office and we were going to meet for dinner beforehand with a dear friend of ours who I wanted to just be with us and pray with us before the event. It's no hidden secret that stuff on campus is heating up. You see people on campus coming on with guns prior to the event that happened with Charlie, the assassination with Charlie. And so I know that, you and I even talked about how I used to say, Charlie, have you ever thought about wearing a vest? He would nod to that and be like, I've looked into it. But he'd always say, if they're going to get me, they're going to get me. He wasn't afraid. Wouldn't have mattered anyways if you wore a vest.
Erica's mom was dealing with a medical issue, so she stayed in Phoenix to care for her. She planned to join Charlie at the next scheduled Turning Point event at Colorado State just a few days later.
He was like,
Can I add something to that?
Home needs you. Be home. Come with me on Thursday to the next event.
Send it.
The medical issue. I wanted to kind of point something out that I don't know if a lot of people really looked into, but I was kind of digging just to see, who brought up the fact that Erica's mother has Lyme disease. And the only result I could find anywhere mentioning it, period, was only Candace. That's kind of I'd say that's kind of a big deal. I don't know if Erica would have wanted that news out there, seeing that she didn't put it out there and Charlie didn't put it out there. I just kind of found it to be a little bit weird. What do you guys think about her announcing to the world for Erica's mother that she has Lyme?
Isn't that releasing non-public information?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was not
I
public.
don't know that it's illegal or anything like that, but it is odd that I didn't know that was true. I didn't know that the first person that had released that was Candace. So
yeah, when she's talking about, HIPAA and all that, and then here she comes along. It's not really, I don't know that it's necessarily HIPAA, because I don't know how she got her information specifically, but to put it out there like that, that's kind of disgusting. And it just kind of goes to show how far her boundaries go.
Yeah, she has no boundaries. She has no boundaries.
No boundaries.
No, that is weird.
And I wonder why Erica would be uncomfortable talking about her husband's last day on this earth. Oh, I don't know. Maybe because it was his last day on this earth. And that's a bit sad and uncomfortable to talk about. You idiot.
Yeah.
We have.
They just didn't. She doesn't want to address it. I've looked everywhere. I would like to know more about Charlie's last day. I can obviously put together what Frank said. I can put together what his schedule was, but that's not a question that she's comfortable answering. And by the way, that dear friend she's referencing, of course, we now know is a priest that came over to pray over Charlie and Erica's marriage the night before, is what I am told. Not Charlie being stressed over an article written by a leftist, which happens every 10 seconds an hour.
Great question. Who told you that? Where'd you get that information? We don't know.
Yeah, and who would they have told that would have even given that information out? That's a pretty private situation to have happen.
But here's what's going to happen in the comments. We now have proof. This is what you're going to hear from the candy heads. Look, it's already been proven. There was a priest that came over and prayed with Charlie over the marriage because their marriage was falling apart. We already know that. That's been proven now. Like they were getting divorced. That's where this morphed into. And this is how what you see down in the comments. And like you try to go back and like clean this stuff up, and there's no doing it. There's no doing it. Like,
I mean, one fight like that apparently happened within what 12 hours.
Well, we
already
don't
have a
know
priest
that
over?
happened. I doubt that. I actually doubt that it happened.
But I've never known a couple to move that quickly into any kind of we need a third party. That's just weird. One like let's say they did have one fight. They already jumped to the whole like we need some third party help. That's wild.
I'd be willing to bet that, and I know this to be true, that Charlie met with spiritual leaders across the country. Like he had friends, I bet, in just about every denomination. And just like me, if a priest wants to come on here and talk, I'm not Catholic. I have a lot of problems with the Catholic faith, to be honest with you. That being said, I mean, I have no problem. And guess what? If he wants to pray for me, I'm going to let him pray for me. Like, I don't know what the...
Yeah, exactly.
We don't know it was a priest that was called to come and pray for them. We don't know that it was a priest. It could have been a pastor. Charlie, I think it was a third to last question he was asked at UVU. He professed his faith in Jesus Christ. Okay. A month before he was not a Catholic. And this is just coming from Charlie's mouth. It is not far-fetched to call a spiritual leader to come and pray for you. And I know Gary, you probably want to get back to playing this, but I just want to say that, they're not, Erica and Charlie were not shy about their faith, and they were Erica's a Bible believing Christian. And as am I believe every word of scripture. And in Ephesians, it tells us that our battle is not against flesh and blood. We're in a spiritual war. And a lot of times you can sense when something is happening, if something bad is going to happen. I don't want to say it's intuition. I'm not into divination, anything like that. But I do think that you can sense when something's happening in the spirit. And if Erica had a bad feeling, there have been a lot of times when I've just felt uneasy, when and then something ultimately has happened, but I turn to prayer. I'll call my friends and say, will you pray with me? It's not far-fetched. Sure. And Candace, again, we can pull up her own words where she talks about having this sixth sense and the vibes are vibing, and she can tell when something's on the horizon and something's going to happen. And we're all in a spiritual battle. Whenever it suits her narrative, she'll use that. But now she's going to use it as that's suspicious that you would call a priest, not to pray over you for the Jezebel article where it was a witch cursing Charlie and wishing death upon him. No, now it's because your marriage was in turmoil. I just wanted to put that out there.
No. And look, I talked about this with Jay Witt the other day. Like, I'm assuming both of you have flown on an airplane, right?
Yes.
I have not.
Oh.
All right, so
I'm good with the ground. I'll drive anywhere, but
I know me more than once. I've had a bad feeling getting onto a plane, and you're right. There's times when I've had bad feelings of things, and then things turned out pretty much the way that I thought they were going to. But also, there's lots of times where I had bad feelings, or my wife had bad feelings, or whoever, and it doesn't turn out. Like sometimes we get this right, sometimes we get this wrong. We're probably all batting probably around, I don't know, 150 on that or so. But the point is exactly right. Like we don't know who this friend was. This is all things that have now been through inception put into our brain from Candace, and there's no proof of any of it. But people will take this. We will be hearing 3 weeks from now. No, they proved that they were getting ready to. That they had a big fight the night before, that they were getting ready to, like, this will turn into something that it never was. And it's all created out of nothing. And then people will say, no, she had receipts. She had receipts for this entire thing. There was no receipt.
Exactly. No receipt.
Oh yeah.
No receipts whatsoever.
World. I'm told. Let's now try to put these clues together, just to recap. Okay. Clue number 1, Charlie did not sleep in his own bed despite
No.
returning from a long trip to Asia. Number 2, Charlie's wedding ring was taken off. Number 3, Charlie removed, I think I'm saying this, I'll say allegedly, I think it was Charlie who removed his wedding photo from his home set. I think that's where he went into his office for a bit. Number 4, a priest came over to pray the night before. Again, when I take out my handy dandy notebook and I put a picture together using basic logic.
Hey, did I mention for all you Candace cultists, she thinks you're an idiot.
I love the way you paused it.
Yeah,
Just so you know.
I
She
love the
thinks
way that you
you're-
paused it,
she thinks
Eric.
you're a
I just
freaking
can't.
moron. Look at that.
absolutely she does.
That is
That's
a
crazy.
picture says 1,000 words.
That's her.
Yeah.
And not trying to look at all of these different directions and all of these possibilities. I know there's that one kid in the back of the class and you say, well, what do these clues tell you? And he raises his hand and he says, it tells me that Tyler Robinson shot Charlie.
Oh my God.
He acted alone on top of a rooftop. But that kid would be an idiot, actually. That could be an idiot because the picture of that is starting to emerge is that Charlie's last day consisted of a lot of arguments. Okay. Arguments over his shifting away from the pro-Israel position, him communicating
That's
to
Israel,
people
yeah.
that he was over it, that he did not want the money, him communicating to people that he wanted to bring me back to AmFest. He was very clear in telling people that on the 9th, the day before he died. And when I look at the fact that Charlie is, or Erica's not able to account for what happened the night before, and she's kind of cagey and answering, and she's giving us more about how Gigi sleeps and moves in bed than she is about what Charlie was doing, other than getting a snack, I feel, and I could be wrong, that there was a knock 'em dead argument that happened. That's what makes logical sense to me.
If you come to the conclusion based on those 4 blues clues that she gave you, you're a moron. You're
You
an
are.
idiot.
Agreed.
That
I'm
kid,
sorry, but you are.
that kid right there would be an idiot. That's what that is. Like there's
Yeah.
no evidence of that. Not even
No.
circumstantial evidence. That is entirely made up whole cloth. And if you believe that, you're a freaking moron, pure and simple.
Agreed.
I do
Moron.
wanna- you guys keep talking. I'm going to get to a few of these super chats so we don't get too far behind in here. Peanut butter on a cheeseburger, big at college.
Mm.
I would probably go with this.
Mhm.
I have had a bite of the what was it? The Elvis Presley sandwich. It's like bacon and
Oh
and,
yeah.
and
And banana.
that was
Yeah.
actually. So I might be able to get on board, and I might even be able to get on board with French toast. We're gonna have to open up a show eating French toast
Heck yeah.
and peanut butter just for Bronson. Dom C gifted 10 Paramount Tactical memberships. Thank you, Dom C. We love you as well. Big supporter of the channel. If I were Eric, I would respond to this entitled Jezebel and say, I'm supposed to lie to you, Candy, if I choose to, because I do not owe you anything. Continue speaking to the wall.
Yeah.
She put it on the low shelf. That's correct. I really like this. Edie, we need to have her back. I want to dress up with her and go to Disney World.
Yes,
I believe
Disney
it's
up, boiler
Dolly
up.
World, isn't
Dolly.
it?
It's Candace. Candy went to Dollywood after she was threatened by the
Yeah.
French Foreign Legion.
And
Who
Tucker's
does
party.
that? Who
Oh,
does that?
Who does? That's where you go. That's where the cannons protect you.
Yeah. Well, don't let an assassin prevent you from having a good time.
Yeah,
Exactly.
State-sponsored assassin. You have literally some of the best trained killers in the world coming after you. Don't worry about that little guy.
Mm.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that she was an alcoholic and an anorexic? Her words, I don't care about being mean anymore. I did not. I don't know that I've ever heard her say that she was an alcoholic and anorexic.
Yep,
Yeah,
so there's a
she's-
good CMTX here too.
Have you heard that before, Arty?
I have not heard that one actually. I need to look more into that. I did not know that she confessed to something like that. That's kind of wild. Definitely have to look
Guys.
more into that one.
Have you gone through? I thought it was fake. Have you gone through her old blog that she used to write? So I knew about her eating disorder. She's talked about that many times. But
I've seen clips of snippets come out of her old blog.
they're telling. They just reveal who she's always been. She even did an entire piece on how she thinks affairs are romantic.
I have seen. Her.
Oh,
Yeah.
with
Mhm.
in that number one, having affairs while you're married is romantic. That was in 2016.
Mhm.
And
Wow.
then also she definitely was a proponent of marrying a gay man.
Mhm.
That was another thing that she wrote. Now,
Wow.
I do want to be a little bit fair on both of these issues. Number one, that was back then she was an atheist. Maybe she's
Mhm.
turned around. I do want to be fair on that. And the
Yeah.
other thing too, I don't think that her being anorexic necessarily goes into this, or even being an alcoholic.
Right.
You know, so I do think those are a little bit ad hominem. Uh, you know, so take that for what it is. What I will say, regardless of whether she was an atheist and she's not an atheist now or whatever else is going on, like there's nothing that I see of her that represents any sort of Christianity that I'm aware
No.
of. And
Right.
I see Catholics speak out against her all the time. I'm very familiar with the Catholic faith. Not a
Mhm.
Catholic. If you're Catholic, God bless you. Keep doing what you're doing. I don't know.
Mhm.
Well, it explains why she was so excited about Erica marrying Charlie. You know,
Mhm.
if affairs
Mhm.
are hot,
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
know, but maybe not. You know,
I think there's a lot that points to indicators of her behavior now. That's just
yeah,
what we have. Just
Mhm.
like I said at the beginning of the show, she's worked for TPUSA. She worked for the Daily Wire. She worked for PragerU. She's always had handlers to keep her in check, and
Mhm.
now she has no one to answer to, and she can just say, do whatever she wants,
She's a
and
rogue.
that's where we're at.
Mhm.
No one to tell her like, hey, that's unethical. That's going to get us sued. That's just
Yeah.
being a shitty person, by the way.
Mhm.
There's somebody doing those things. She needs
agreed.
somebody.
If there's a contract, she will violate it.
Yeah.
Wait.
Newsweek reported TPUSA person says she moved it to a lower shelf in the office after her young daughter asked to see it. It has moved since. Easy eye level for children. She's being so evil. Love you guys. We love
Yes.
you too, Julie. Lucas with the big $100 chat. Thank you very much, buddy. Thank you for being advocates for the truth. Keep fighting for all of us and keeping us informed. Thank you, bud. Her parents gave her up. Love is foreign to her. I do. I
Mhm.
think more indicative of any of these one little things. She was anorexic. She was an alcoholic. She came from a broken home. She was raised by her grandparents. Look, I think all of these things are indicators more so than us to sit back and judge any one of these issues. But
Mhm.
like that type of childhood does lead to where we're at, and that is someone that has never had any consequences. Clearly, has like doesn't have a sense of what's right and wrong or moral or just. And that's a big issue.
Mhm.
We saw that with her apartment that she didn't pay for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
Officer Tatum said he didn't sleep in the same bed as his wife most of the time, so they must not be good.
Yeah.
I mean, no one said that Officer Tatum didn't kill Charlie. He could have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Uh,
Lavender marriage. What is that?
MTX is going in the paint. Lavender marriage struggles. Her bed is cold. Lavender
don't know.
marriage, you intentionally marry someone that's gay.
Oh. Oh.
Candace got shot collars on her kids' place.
No.
I think he's onto something.
So we have a Connie Corso, and so we have an e-collar on our Connie Corso as these trained. This is our second one. We obviously keep it very low, but I got to tell you, they're pretty magical, and we use it ethically and all the things. And I don't want to hear anybody talking about crap in the comments.
No,
Mhm.
absolutely.
I put it on myself. Look, that just stop. If you aren't familiar with them. That being said, I have more than once like, ooh, man, I should have had one of these on my kids.
Right.
They would have definitely got sleep trained a lot sooner.
Sleep trained.
Yeah.
For the REM cycle, sleep. I want to hear a peep from you, children. Candace is home.
You know, her kids call the nanny mama, not her.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so sad. I believe it.
Telling on herself, her house is full of fighting.
Right there. Empty.
Yeah.
Please discuss a statement on third eye and astral projection. Well, Charlie claimed he had a third eye. And Candace claims she has a third eye.
Her husband likes to
Uh-oh.
keep his
I don't know
jewelry
what
on.
she said.
Thing going off. Oh, here it is.
Her husband likes to keep his jewelry on.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. George probably doesn't feel comfortable taking his ring off because it would cause a fight, like how her employees can't correct her pronunciation.
Talk about George's ring.
As
Things
an
blown out
alcoholic
years
with 40
ago.
years of sobriety, I can say the absolute certainty that overarching personality trait is self-delusion. She's scrambling. I couldn't agree more. We'll hit just a quick, exactly. Mastiffs do have an extremely high pain tolerance. Like nothing slows that dog down.
Oh, goodness
Yeah.
And a little bit of buzzing on them doesn't hurt them at all.
Yeah. Yeah, some dogs need it. I mean, especially food obsessed dogs.
Yeah.
Man, they're hard to train.
Yeah, and my Cane Corso, exactly. Like you, he doesn't know what pain is.
Right. My German Shepherd, actually, he's tried to break down my door.
Oh,
All right, I hate to do this, but back to Candy. Back to Candyland, everyone.
look at her.
The game that never ends.
About what I don't know, that's what makes sense.
Oh.
Because they have not been honest in their portrayal about what the relationship was. And I will leave it at that. This like idea of this amazing godly relationship with that is.
I want to hit this. It's okay to admit it. Candace isn't that bad. No, she's terrible.
What?
I'm underselling this a lot. I find her one of the most despicable human beings on the planet.
Have
She's
you not
pretty
watched
She's
up
one of
until
the
this
dumbest.
point?
She intentionally is lying to you. She's up
Yeah.
here throwing up Blue's Clues. She's one of the most horrendous people on the planet. I really do believe that. And I mean that with all my heart.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Here, I'll be right back. I got to
Yeah.
get this.
not accurate, and it would not have been relevant if Erica had kept it honest throughout
What?
this entire process. But she's not. She's getting caught in a lot of lies. And when I go back and I revisit the way she tells the lies, I feel very strange about it. I feel weird watching these clips back. And I want you to see that. Lastly, I want to
See? She's
bring
conditioning us.
the Glenn Beck interview back up because hindsight, like I said, is 2020. And I want you to pay attention to how she lies. Now that we know this is a lie, it's crazy to watch how performative she is in trying to deliver the lie so that it's believable to the masses. Remember, Charlie messaged multiple people saying that he thought they were going to kill him the night before. I feel like it wasn't just a snack that he wanted. I think there was some anxiety, he discovered something, and things weren't good. I don't think it was a peaceful night's sleep the night before. Well, Erica, at this moment when she is about giving this interview to Glenn Beck, remember, this was the PR blitz. She's shutting that rumor down before she realizes that I know more information. Watch how she sells this lie. Take a listen.
I know the tour. That was the first stop of the tour. And I know you two had met with your priest the night before. And do you think Charlie knew to some degree and had made the conscious choice that I may be taken out early? Not saying he knew that day, but that he had any inkling that this might come his way and that he intentionally chose to move forward with faith in God?
It's interesting because I have unbelievable amounts of death threats. My kids have kidnapping threats, death threats. Our whole team has death threats. We knew that there was always going to be a threat, but Charlie and I we promised each other we would never live in fear. And he would say, if they're going to get me, they're going to get me. But he was not messaging people the day before saying, I'm going to be murdered. They're coming after me. Someone's going to kill me. He didn't say that. And I have his cell phone. Didn't say that. And so what I do know is that we believe in the power of prayer.
Yes.
And what I do know is that we believe in our sovereign God. And what I do know is that night before, we did what we usually did before tours. We said our prayer and we asked the Lord to protect us. And we asked the Lord that his will be done. That's what we did.
All I'm saying is it hits different in retrospect.
Why?
She's selling that.
No, you're selling. You're
Why does that
selling
hit
it
different in retrospect?
differently in retrospect. You're
I mean,
selling something that isn't true, and we
Yeah.
all know it.
Exactly. I mean, this was already resolved months ago. She already had her conversation with Erica. She was right there face to face.
Mm-hmm.
They determined it was Telegram.
Mhm.
And they also determined that it wasn't anything specific. So, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I don't know what else she wants us to do with that info. She's just fluffing it up now at this point.
Well, I mean, it doesn't support the narrative that she wants. So
Right.
she has to
Mhm.
completely twist it around. We have to completely omit a lot of contradictory information, evidence, clues. She's never even sort of looked at Tyler Robinson. She has
Mhm.
protected Tyler Robinson the entire
Yeah.
time. She has protected the left the entire
Mhm.
time. The left killed Charlie. We know that.
Exactly.
And that's what's going on. Edie, Megan says, please tell the guys about how we think she might be an undercover Thelemite.
I absolutely think that she practices some type of ritual magic. I know that sounds crazy, but people do that all the time. And she's friends with Kanye, like BFFs with Kanye. He's been a big proponent of Aleister Crowley. Thelema was the doctrine that he came up with, and do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. You can see that on Jay-Z. He plasters that on clothes that he wears. They're big into the Eye of Horus, and she is in the same sphere as all of these people. Like Kanye and her are BFFs. She will not let an episode go without talking to you about Kanye. A lot of the things that she does, they align with the practices of Thelema, and you guys can do research on that. I actually have a video on Aleister Crowley. He's considered the wickedest man in the world, but I just know she talks about her third eye. She talks about astral projection. She knows a lot. We know that she projects the things that she's doing onto other people. She'll call people out for doing the very same things that she does. So when she's saying these people are doing, she's mentioned Aleister Crowley. So when people are doing these things, and that you're just giving yourself away that you are doing these things. Also, you have endorsed books by occultist Kenneth Anger, who actually went to Aleister Crowley's Abbey of Thelema to obtain his journals. There's a picture of him, Kenneth Anger, in the Abbey of Thelema with a picture of Aleister Crowley in the background. They were there to obtain his journals. He talked about doing ritual magic. She endorses these books. They read one of those books in her book club. She went on and on about how fascinating he was. I think there's something there. And goodness gracious, if it was somebody else doing what she's doing, she would be calling it out and saying the very same thing. So she's not a Christian. Again, this is one of the main reason I come for her is because her audience is huge. People, they could be baby Christians. They could not be Christian at all. And she is maligning the word of God and leading them far off the path to the Lord. And she's misrepresenting Christianity, which is a grave sin. Causing someone to stumble is a grave sin. And I cannot stand for it. I cannot stand for it. And I believe, I don't know, Arty, if you've ever done any research into Crowley.
Well, I mean, I've definitely read a little bit about him.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely into the metal and whatnot. So
Mm-hmm.
he's mentioned often. One thing you kind of reminded me of, though, is think about notice how the people she genuinely respects, she doesn't question.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Kanye West. He's been apologizing to all these rabbis and everything. And what did Candace say about it? She was like, well, he's kind of going through a hard time. And, whatever he feels is the right thing to do. I'm not going to question. What would have happened if Charlie was there in front of a rabbi apologizing in that situation at all? I don't feel like she would have been like, well, Charlie, whatever he feels like doing. No, she would have been like, this is Israel controlling him.
Yeah.
Why aren't they controlling Kanye? It's really strange. I mean, it's always like, how would I even say it? It's rules for one side, but not rules for the people that she actually genuinely respects and is friends with. It's kind of baffling to me.
Yeah, no, she cherry picks everything. She cherry picks facts. She cherry picks rules. She cherry picks all of it. One thing I mentioned this the other night too is one thing I can say for sure. I don't know if it's Thelemite, Scientology. She talks more about things that are related to mysticism than she does anything with Christianity, for sure. I've never heard a Christian talk about the things that she talks about that are antithetical. I do want to address a comment real quick by King J here. We're going to just give you some lowdown. First of all, the first thing I would recommend that you do is actually look at the charging documents of what we have. Look, King, you're just incorrect and you're probably misinformed. There is a ton of evidence, and what you're stating is incorrect. There was not 4 DNAs on the gun, and it wouldn't matter if there was, because most people have handled that gun. What what they said in court was that there was 4 DNA found at the scene. Now, Candace turned that around and said 4 DNAs. Actually, what she said was there was 4 sets of fingerprints on the gun. And she was like, oh, we said that that was never even mentioned. She said there's 4 different DNAs found on the scene. I don't know what the scene is, but that's what the defense attorney said. We have not heard that there's 4 different DNA on the gun, but there should be. His father handled that gun. He handled that gun. There's probably DNA transfer. The fact that it was at his house and Lance Twiggs was there. His grandfather. I bet other people have shot that firearm before. As you know, so that's incorrect. Like there's a ton of evidence that is being. If you just go through the charging documents, they list just the evidence they had then. They have compiled a lot more evidence since. And we went through the evidence with Andrea Burkhart. She's a defense attorney. And she talked about the strengths and weaknesses of the evidence that's being presented. This is not the only evidence. This was just the evidence they had at the time that they put together so that they could charge him with certain crimes. They have compiled additional evidence. There's DNA evidence. There's testimony evidence. There is evidence from his cell phone. There is his admission on multiple platforms. So the idea that there is no evidence, I'm sorry, you guys are listening to Candace because she hasn't shown you that there's evidence. I suggest that you go read some of the charging documents themselves because there's plenty of evidence and there's more being piled on every single day.
Absolutely. I mean, not just that, but the first part of his sentence is wrong anyway. The court has shown no evidence. They're not supposed to. They're going to show evidence in July. Yeah. Like that's or was it June or July? And or what? No, it may have been May. It's one of those upcoming months. We're going to see it soon, or at least they're going to present it in a pretrial soon, and then it's going to go to trial. Like we're not going to see anything for a while.
Yeah.
So don't expect any evidence out of the courts. For
and even in the charging documents, that's one of the things that Andrea talked about. Is this is just a list of the evidence they have. They're not showing you evidence, but they don't show any of us evidence. They're going to show the jury the evidence. So we're going to see that when it comes out in the jury. But there's tons of evidence, so much so that the defense attorney said there was voluminous amounts of evidence that they had to go through. So they needed 2 months extension before they could even go through the evidence. So there's plenty of evidence, dude. And to think otherwise, I'm sorry, you're just ignorant and ill-informed and you're watching the wrong shows. Come watch this show. Come watch Arty's show. Come watch Edie's show, Jay Witt's show, anybody else out there telling the truth, because whatever you're watching, you're getting your information from, you're being misguided.
He's trying to say prosecution.
I have his phone.
But
he never said it.
I'm sorry.
It was chill. Everyone was chilling.
What'd you say, Arty?
Oh, no, you're good. He's trying to say the prosecution, but just all King needs to do, just go look up Tyler Robinson attorney meltdown. Go Google that. See why she's melting down. It's over the evidence that's kind of being presented. I bet he skipped that part.
Yeah. And I don't think Candace ever showed that on her podcast, did she?
No, absolutely not.
Me, the priest, Charlie wasn't going Catholic, but we just like the chill priest. Everyone was chilling. It was great. And I have his phone. So, haters, wrong. That's acting. That is acting. And then we're told, it's because he had messaging app. Not true. Dan Flood messaged it on iMessage. So who deleted it? If it wasn't Erica, maybe she really is being taken by a ride by everyone around her. But that the messaging has been that that's not possible. Remember? That's simply not possible. There's no way that any CEO could be surrounded by snakes. But if she is being taken by a ride, she would by now be very.
Let me get all these out. So nobody. I love you, Bronson. We need to have you back on again soon. Bronson too. The eclectic journalist who we're going to have on probably this week or maybe early next week. I know we were talking about Friday. I was planning on taking Friday off. We'll probably do Monday, but there's a bunch of great people out there that are putting out the truth. I'm sorry I can't rattle them off the top of my head at any moment's notice.
Be aware of that, so I don't really excuse that. Did somebody else delete the messages? Did Kash Patel come in, delete the messages? Maybe. I don't know. I think it's very strange that she was even allowed to have the phone back so quickly. Or at all. I don't think they ever even seized the phone, if I remember correctly. But I would sure be interested in finding out what's in that telephone. So,
of course you would.
Your move, Laura Loomer and Zionists. We are going to be right back after throwing into some of our sponsors. All right, you guys, you may have seen the conversations happening online lately. Censorship.
Yeah, while this is going on, we'll hit some more of these super chats, come in and try to hit some of the other comments. MTX, you're right. I need to pray for restoration. You're good, MTX. MTX is going off the rails. He was getting angry. Next time you should have the story box. He's for our team. Would love to have him. Welcome anytime. I watch all of you all the time, not like Candace watching people. Now I feel
appreciate it anyway.
now I feel weirded out.
I'm just gonna close my blinds.
MTX, y'all have raised quitting.
I know, right?
I'm gonna sin if I stay. I'm with you, buddy. Yeah, I wanted to hit this. Yep. Again, we need to get you on to Eclectic Journalist, and I plan to do so. I'm glad you got a camera so we can get you on and get you within view.
I understand the MAGA party is over. It got infiltrated by a bunch of losers. But why must we be forced to watch it bleed out slowly?
Always blackpilling everybody. Hey, don't vote. We don't want you to vote. The MAGA party's over. Forget about all the success that the Trump administration is having. Forget the fact that we've closed the border. Forget the fact that we have a much better economy. Forget the fact that we have law and order. Forget the fact that we're actually deporting people. Forget the fact that we have much better interest rates, that inflation is much lower. Gas prices. I just filled up my truck. My truck was $140 to fill up. And I know that sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, but I've normally been spending about 170 to 180 bucks. That's so like we're doing pretty well.
She hates our country though. She hates this country.
She does.
She hates this country. Yeah.
I couldn't agree more.
This feels like it's a humiliation ritual at this point. Even the way that Bibi Netanyahu shows up, I don't know if you saw yesterday, like a motorcade, bigger and longer and more secure than President Trump's when he travels. I feel like he just does that because you got to imagine being Bibi Netanyahu, right? He can do whatever he wants and nobody will check him. Like he goes around telling presidents what they're going to do, how many people have to die, who he's going to assassinate, and people just take it. And so it must be so boring for him. And in order for him to feel any pleasure, he must only derive it from other people's pain. You know what I mean? There's something sadistic about the entire thing. Watching what he's doing to Trump pulling out his chair, giving him this huge motorcade to come in, helicopter above. Nobody comes in like this. That's how Bibi Netanyahu comes in. And Trump, if you would think that he could be like, okay, I'm going to defend speech in America. That's it. This is the last relic of what MAGA is. And he's doing the exact opposite. And so President Donald Trump has this White House Religious Liberty Commission. And of course, they were doing a hearing on anti-Semitism because that's what's happening. That's the only thing that could be happening. It's not like, the mass murder of hundreds of thousands of children that people are upset about. It's just because the Jews are doing it, if you believe them. And Carrie Prejean Bowler stood up and she said, this is unacceptable. This hearing is unacceptable. And I'm not okay with any of this. And what is the actual definition of anti-Semitism? Because it just seems like it's everything these days. And in case you need to rewind, you should go back and watch. She made a lot of amazing remarks. But here is effectively what she said. I think on behalf of all of us regarding why everything seems to be anti-Semitism, even when it so clearly is not. And really what is happening is we're being forced to support the state of Israel's demonic goals. Take a listen.
Just to be clear, is anti-Zionism anti-Semitism?
Yes.
It is under IHRA?
Rabbi, sure. You're up next.
You're not sure?
Definition,
so what is the definition?
I would love to speak to that. Undoubtedly, anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism, and undoubtedly, and one does not.
Does she not even understand what anti-Zionism is?
She doesn't know. She just hates the Jews. That's what it is. She hates them.
Saying, I'm not a Zionist. For people clear in the chat. And I know you guys are much smarter. I don't have to Blue's Clue you guys, but we have a much smarter audience. If you're saying I am not a Zionist, I don't believe in Zionism, that means that you don't believe that the state of Israel should exist. And that is undoubtedly anti-Semitism. Like you can't separate those two things. Now, all this other like there's 50,000 different variations of what, when people say Zionist, what that supposedly means. Like, I'm a Zionist in that I believe that the state of Israel, I believe they have the right to exist. They have a right to borders. They have a right to be a country, and that's it. I mean, what's your guys' thoughts on that?
Same. Amen.
Yeah. I
I'm there.
mean, the thing about it is she doesn't even talk about like how they would how would they go about not being Israel anymore? Like doing what specifically? Just letting Hamas have them? And then what? Like it's kind of a weird situation. Now, I'm not pro-government for really, I'm not super duper pro-government 100%. I'm pro small government.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
And I mean, it's like she thinks that the Israeli government is 100% the Israeli people. And it's like, look, you're going to have some crap, some really crappy people. You're going to have some war hawks that get in there too. Like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that Israel, is like 100% like pure with their government. But she's talking about an elected official. It's not a dictator. At a drop of a hat, the guy could be voted out and a new person put in there. Then what? What if policies stay the same? It's just kind of weird.
She suffers from an ancient hate. She just suffers from an ancient hate. If you go, I did an episode on Romy Gonen, who was one of the hostages that was released, and her story. Okay. And I prefaced it with a compilation of Candace. Literally she refers to Jews as vermin, you guys. She calls them vermin. She says that Israel is demonic, all while claiming Christianity. Okay. And again, as these gentlemen have just said, you don't have to be pro-Israeli government. That doesn't mean anything. You don't have to like our government. But those are two different things. But she hates Israelis. She hates the Jews. She hasn't been shy about saying those things. So that is where this stems from. An ancient hate. Milk Bar TV, Nathan, that guy is everything. He just did a side-by-side comparison of her verbiage compared to Nazi language. Yeah. I mean, it's astonishing. It's astonishing. She is a raging anti-Semite. And she does.
I played that on Tuesday. It's very powerful.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. It's amazing how she interchanges Zionist and Jew all the time, though, when she's supposedly meaning Zionist, according to her. But she slips up all the time and goes, the Jews. And it's just like, the ones living in Germany or the ones living in Europe somewhere, or in general living up in Canada. What do you mean by that? Like, that's kind of a crazy slip up to have happen whenever you're talking about supposedly specifically just the government of Israel. And then look at how it kind of spreads out more and more. And it's not that you can't criticize the government, but it's just the kind of people who try to disguise it as anti-Jew hatred, or not anti-Jew hatred, but you know what I'm saying? Like, she's trying to say that, I don't hate all the Jews, but then how come you keep slipping up and talking about the people of Israel as well as,
she talks about the Jews and Zionists here in the United States as well. So it's clearly a Jew problem. And look, she has close ties with me and Carol, who talks about Jews all the time. She talks about how Jews started the slave trade, even though, like, you can go look at her PragerU video where she talks about how the slave trade was perpetrated primarily by Islamists. Look, everybody in the world of slaves. Right? We've all been, we all have our hands dirty in that, going back in ancient whatever. Everybody kept slaves. I hate the false binary. So I used to hate the false binary of, if you, and there are people that do this. If you criticize Israel politically or criticize the government, they say you're being anti-Semitic.
Right.
I hate that. Okay. That's wrong. The opposite side of that coin is like, okay, no, I can support Israel's right to exist, and I'm not some crazy Zionist and sold out. And I, my loyalty is not with Israel. I can believe those two. That's the same thing of the opposite side of the same coin. So, like, stop giving us these false binaries. I can sit there and say, you know what, Israel has a right to exist. I also criticize their governments, and I also criticize some of the things that they've done in Gaza. Like there's lots to
Okay.
criticize with any government. And in the same way, I'm going to give Israel a little bit of pass when they say, oh, well, if you're criticizing what we're doing, somebody just died, of course.
It was the Jews.
The freaking Jews broke into my
It
house.
was the Jews.
Definitely, you could hear that Macron's wife there. I think your Glock slipped.
Macron's husband.
I don't know what happened, but I'm scared. Yeah. Look, when Israel is going to push back and say, oh, you know what, you're not supporting us because you're anti-Semitic. In the same way that our own government during the Biden administration said, hey, you know what, if you don't support us, you're not patriotic. You don't you don't support America. If you're not supporting my policies, you're not supporting America. And Trump does that too. So there's a little bit of all that goes around. There's a lot of excitable language that's thrown around there a little bit. But it's like, if you say you're anti-Zionist, that's what you believe. You believe that Israel doesn't have the right to exist. And if that is, that's fine. I don't really care. I don't think you're a bad person. I think that's incorrect. But don't sit there and call me a Zionist or you're not America first. Like I've done more for this country and risked my life more times for this country. Like F up. Like I don't even want to hear it from you.
Yes, exactly.
It's insane, and it's coming from these people that have done a single thing, never a single selfless service in their life. They've never risked their life for this country. You want to question my patriotism and my loyalty? Go somewhere. I
go somewhere.
Go somewhere.
But also, Candace is like America first, but that she hates America. America first, but you won't leave other countries alone. Like everything is back to another country, and then you literally hate your own country.
Yeah.
Make it make sense. Can someone make that make sense for me?
She hates her country because she's not getting the accolades from government the way that she thinks she should. She thinks she should be nominated president, vice president. She thinks she should be put into a cabinet somewhere. I mean, she really is so self-deluded that that's what she believes. And she has such an air of self-importance. If she can't be in charge of it, she doesn't want anything to do with it. That's
exactly
what it comes down to. She wants it destroyed, which is exactly what we're seeing with Charlie Kirk's family, USA, the MAGA movement. I haven't heard her say a single thing about Brexit, right? She used to be real passionate about bringing African Americans over to the Republican Party because the Democrat Party sold them out. Now she's like, oh, just burn it all down. Just burn it all down.
Burn it all down. Yeah. And
I think
remember,
you hit the nail on the nail there, though. Oh, sorry.
When at the beginning, when all of this happened, and she even said, she gave herself away. She said, I thought the band was going to get back together when this happened. I thought that they would be calling me and that they would want to bring me back in. And the band, she refers to the band getting back together a lot. And then when that didn't happen, as you just mentioned, Gary, she decided to burn the entire place down. Yeah, you don't want me back? You don't want me to help you? You don't want me to be CEO? What? Yeah. Okay. Hand me the matches. That's her.
She is the stereotypical scorn woman. If she can't have this man, then she's gonna try to destroy him. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
That's a terrible freaking picture.
Well, actually, I was gonna ride on those coattails there. I was gonna bring up too, which I'm glad you said that. Notice how just what was it, like a week or so ago, she was talking about like, TPUSA, hire me, I'll do all your PR for you and all that. It's kind of interesting how she keeps throwing that out there. She's definitely for sale. For that price at any given point in time. I don't think she'd say no.
They should actually do a test on that and give her an offer.
That would be a good idea.
To see how fast her tune would change, guys.
Yeah. Put it out there after she accepts.
Yes.
Well, everything that she does has an air of extortion or blackmail. It's like, all you got to do is just prove your innocence and I'll quit slandering you. I'll quit defaming you. Like, that's all you got to do. All you got to do is give me what I want and I will stop trying to destroy you. That is exactly what it is. And again, it's like that psycho girlfriend that you can't get rid of, that like you broke up, everything was fine. You knew she was crazy. You got tired of her BS. You broke up. Now she's at your work trying to destroy your life. She's calling your parents, your family members. She's online slandering you, saying what a dirtbag you are, all because you didn't want to have anything to do with her. And that's exactly what she's doing.
Have you guys seen that
Absolutely.
documentary on Netflix, Lover, Stalker, Killer? Have you seen that?
No, is it a documentary
Okay, you gotta watch
biography of
it.
Candace?
Yes, it is. She, yes, I mean that's her. It's her. She's crazy,
That is
crazy.
wild.
But you should watch that documentary. It was really good.
Arty, Ray Bronson says he needs a guitar lesson. No cap.
Man, maybe at some point, I don't know if I'm a good teacher, but you know, I can definitely point people in the right directions though.
There you go.
It's fun stuff.
Follow Your Destiny. Thanks to whoever gifted me a membership. I love y'all. Yep. Well, congratulations on that. That was either CJ Correnti or Domsey, who are two huge supporters of the channel. And also with CJ, he's helped us out. I mean, just tens of thousands of dollars worth of resources, and the fact that he put together our 3D model. And he's also always helping me out with media and intros and outros. And what a great guy.
That's
so
awesome.
thank you, CJ Correnti, and thank you, Domsey, and everybody else that supports the channel. We couldn't do it without you. Again, folks, like, subscribe if you want to become a member and support the channel. There's a link down in the description below. You become a member. Also, go follow us on X, all of us, and all our links are down in the description below on all the other platforms. We got Instagram, Facebook. We're there. We're all over the place. So you can go follow us there. And there again, if you want to become a subscriber on X, you can also support us that way. I will be doing a members only live stream, probably either Saturday or Sunday. I'll let you know when that, and I'll try to put that out that information. I think that's a good place to kind of stop right there. I've had about all the Candace I can have. I appreciate you guys making it a lot more interesting. Arty, any final words on all the craziness?
Oh man, I mean, shoot, I could go on about this for a long time. You know what I mean? I mean, just the craziest crap coming out of her mouth. I mean, from all the way from her saying that there was no blood at the scene to, I mean, she promised 2 months ago to bring forth those flight logs on the Egyptian planes. Whatever happened to that? And also, she said that she was that she had hard proof of shoot. I just kind of lost my thought on that one. But she, you know,
the Egyptian
that
plane,
she was supposed to bring through.
She had hard proof.
Yeah, she had hard evidence coming up of the meeting with Pierre. That's who it is. And just where is that now? Like, apparently they had met with Pierre right after Charlie was gone. Would love to see that too. And it's just disappeared into the ether. So many things that she has promised to her audience. And I haven't seen any of it yet, other than just ramblings of drama that she has with either Erica or Ben Shapiro, of all people, who I don't see how he's involved whatsoever. But that's all we've been getting as the last 2 months. So
it's so
those are really
weird.
my thoughts on.
It's just so odd that all the things and people and entities that she hated before Charlie Kirk was killed, how they're all lumped in and now are actually, they're the ones that are guilty of this. They're the ones that are being accused. We have Israel.
Exactly.
We have the French. And that's the thing that's crazy. She actually opened up, you know, one of her videos. I played it. I made a debunking video about it, but she literally said that the French did this. They killed Charlie Kirk to distract her from her investigation into the Macrones. That's
yes,
how
I remember
that.
That's insane.
Deluded that this woman is. She is. She has main character syndrome like I've never seen anybody. It is bonkers. It is something to behold. They should put her in some psychiatric course where people can just sit around and study her and figure out how her brain works.
Right.
I sure don't understand it. Edie.
Main character syndrome in a bad sweater. I would just love to style her for a second. Okay, friends, there is help for you. If you are suffering with candy-itis, okay. As Jay Witt would say, come to the front of the church and we will pray for you. Please don't listen to this woman. Please, if you choose to listen to her, don't give her your money because she can afford to pay for her own legal counsel. Okay. And do your own research. Even if you don't want to, you know, if you think that we're haters, just do your own research, form your own opinions. Don't go by what this wicked, perverse, and rebellious woman is trying to tell you. And please think twice before you attack a grieving widow. We don't know. Just talking to the ladies there, okay? I don't know what I would do in Erica's situation. I think that she is remarkably strong. So let's continue to pray for her. And just, if you have any questions about the Lord, please don't go to Candace and ask her. Please, that is my number one piece of advice. Do not go to Candace for any. Do not go to Candace for any spiritual guidance. That's all I have to say, boys.
Oh, that's a great point. LBFF 1225. Before you end, please explain why halftime was satanic. I truly want to know and don't want to misuse words like the left. What specifically are you talking about? The NFL halftime? That's easy.
Yeah,
I can definitely answer that pretty quickly. So as a matter of fact, hold on. Let me go to my X here. Matter of fact, I'll just bring you guys along for the ride. We'll find this stuff together here. I'll make this big. Go to my X. You guys can go through this. If you got questions about the 30-06 ballistics, look, we got something pinned right there you need to go through. There's a lot more explanation that we can go through. And by the way, while I'm thinking about it, so I don't forget it again, Arty, one thing, and EDU as well, you were talking about how all of these prevailing myths continue to rise up. And that is like there was no blood. These are things that I've made individual videos going back. Some of them have been removed by YouTube, by the way. So I think what would be fun is actually to go through all of these pervasive and continuing myths that are easily debunked, like there was no blood, among many, many other ones. We can go through and debunk those, and I'd love to have the candy cults come on and we can go through and talk about all those things. I think most people, it doesn't matter what evidence we present, but we are trying to reach the reasonable among us. Anyways, let's talk why the Super Bowl, in my opinion, is indeed satanic. And I listed the lyrics. You know what? We'll play this. We'll play this. Why not? Let's play this.
Next day delivery. Need my sage and crystal. What's that say? I don't want to take a survey. This message goes out to Sin Machine and Bronson. You refer to me as Candyland Biker Babe 7000. You need to know my real identity. I speak for the coalition of the Candies. Third Eye Blind. You feel good about yourself. Smacking them jaws. Like jaws up in here. The bloodshed. You saw right through Eric. Harold! I'm back. Cinema and Bronson. Let's just include everyone. Jay Fathom, Arty, Trollz, Jason with the Curve, Ben Schulte, of course, Gary from Parmint. You just get back. Just get back. These are my vibrations telling you to move it. Back it on up. Tell your story walking down the road. Tell your story walking all the way down the road. Candace never once said Erica was guilty. She is simply asking,
she should be dragged into the
it's like you're against me. You are doing your best to destroy
at
me.
some point you have to say, she literally said she should be dragged.
Harold.
Okay, oh.
There we go. Edie Lowe in disguise, folks.
That's
Edie
amazing.
Lowe in disguise. All right, let me scroll back through here and let me find from the Super Bowl from the other day. Let's find the lyrics to the songs that was sang at the Super Bowl. All right, so
that wasn't a steal.
Here is the lyrics to the song. So here we go. More S than Betty Boop. P with the D, D with the A. P with the D, 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 A. Really big D's. There you go. That's this, and I did confirm this song was played at the Super Bowl.
This is not what I expected from slam poetry.
I
thought they were talking about something else.
She F's in the Audi, not in the Honda. All right, this was played in Spanish. So,
wow.
And there's a lot more to it. Like we've had several controversial artists over the years at the Super Bowl. It's been getting worse and worse and worse. I do think that the Super Bowl has now been hijacked as a way to push leftism, globalism, anti-Christian themes. So that's why I would say that we can.
Let me just tell you, a good resource is Good Fight Ministries. They do a lot of good work over on that channel, and they usually every year do an expose on the Super Bowl. So that's a great resource if you want to check that out. Some of their older videos, they do a deep dive on the artists that have been performing there and a lot of the interviews that take place beforehand. And it is really satanic.
Here's a great comment that I think is a good thing to hit before we leave. The effort in debunking an unfounded allegation as opposed to making one is greater by many orders of magnitude. That's why allegations should be evidence-based. And this is why we've always asserted here in this country that you are innocent until proven guilty. And why we've always as a society agreed that, and by the way, we've agreed with laws because civilly you can be sued for defamation, and that's why these laws exist, that you should not be accused of horrific crimes without some sort of evidence. Because just like I say all the time, hey, I saw Bigfoot last night in my backyard. Now you have to prove me wrong. That's what we're asking of you. It's the dumbest illogical approach to anything. Like if you believe that and you think that makes sense to you, when Candace makes these claims that the French assassins killed Charlie, she doesn't tell us where they were, how they did it. Was that them on the roof? We don't have any of the mechanics of this whatsoever, and she has no evidence to support that. But then you candy heads say, well, you haven't proven her wrong. Well, no. Well, I mean, how can we prove what hasn't been proven? She has no evidence. There's nothing hard there to disprove. What we can say, and I've always said, she doesn't have evidence. And by the way, we can prove her wrong. We can prove her wrong in two different ways, or at least from a logic standpoint, you should accept that she is incorrect. Number one, a lack of evidence is evidence. Like if I say, Edie, you killed your husband, and you say, no, I didn't. He was down the road somewhere else. There's no evidence that you can link to me. There's no physical evidence whatsoever. Here's what was going on over there. The fact that there's no evidence that Edie killed her husband is evidence that she didn't kill her husband. And then on top of that, it'd be one thing if we didn't have an alternative, but we do. We have Tyler Robinson, who, again, we have DNA evidence on the gun. His parents turned him in. His parents spotted him on the surveillance camera. They have not come out and said that he was innocent. We have, again, surveillance footage. We have cell phone footage. He admitted to it in multiple platforms. So there's lots of evidence, and you have to overcome that evidence to convince me of something else.
Absolutely. I mean, before she even had anything, the very first episode she did after coming back from, her 4-day break that she took from after Charlie's death was Charlie was betrayed by everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a crazy statement to make right out from the get-go without having any evidence to present that he was betrayed by anybody. It's just crazy. And that's just how she came out the gate swinging.
Here's a comment. Gary focused on what is important: Epstein files, pedophiles abusing their children. How come you are silent about them? I have been silent about them. I've talked about them both on the channel and I don't know that I've ever seen you before, David. So how come I've never seen you before is the real question here. I've talked about this. So first and foremost, I've gone through hours and hours and hours of the 3.5 million Epstein files. What I've found so far and what has been published out there, and you guys can jump in at any time, the only hard evidence that we have is nothing but Democrats. I started going through photos, thousands and thousands and thousands of photos. The only people that I see with Jeffrey Epstein, where you see Jeffrey Epstein with what looks like very young girls, I can't tell if they're underage or not, but there's dozens of photos with him on trips. There's literally photo albums of titled like Clinton trip Southeast Asia. And you see Clinton, you never see him in the same photos, but we see him in the same setting. I see Clinton like by himself, and then like the camera's panned over here. You can tell it's the same setting. And I see Jeffrey Epstein with like 4 or 5 extremely young women. The other problem that I have with the Epstein files is there is definitely a bunch of things that have been proven false. There's allegations in there that are against Trump, for instance, which, by the way,
Mhm.
the Epstein files just proved that Donald Trump actually turned Jeffrey Epstein in 2006. So
Mhm.
there's that. But then there's allegations against, and it's literally listed as President Trump did X, Y, and Z to me when he owned this at this golf club that he owned. The problem was is like Donald Trump didn't even own that golf club. Two things. I want to stay focused here. Donald Trump, these allegations toward Donald Trump are happening after he's a president. That's I find interesting. And because they say President Trump. And then the other thing is this woman that's making these allegations against him are talking about him owning the golf club when he didn't own it until like 2 or 3 years later. So there's a bunch of crazy allegations all through the Epstein files. None of it or most of it is not actual evidence or proof. A lot of it's hearsay. And a lot of it's just like some random pictures. I think there's a lot of misinformation in there. What I can tell you, the things that we do see are evidence, again, just like I talked about Bill Clinton in that, is we do have evidence of Epstein directly emailing with prominent Democrats, to include Hillary Clinton, who's talking about pizza and hot dogs in a way that is clearly not pizza and hot dogs, and with Barack Obama and other prominent Democrats. So I have talked about the Epstein files. We can do more, but the problem is right now with what we have with the Epstein files, like we don't know the Biden administration had those for 4 years. We have no idea what they took out of there or what they put into there. And I think that at this point, I don't know that any good information is going to come out of it. There have been, I just posted this on X as well. There have been arrests and some other things made because of the Epstein files. Pam Bondi just listed a bunch of things. But when you start really digging into the Epstein files, it's you leave every time with more questions than answers, and there's not proof of hardly anything in there. Arty or Edie, have you looked into the Epstein files at all?
I've dabbled. One thing that kind of caught my attention, of course, was when Trump, obviously was calling and turning in Epstein. That may have been one of the few reasons why he was actually hesitant to get these files released in the first place. I mean, imagine the position that puts him in. Especially with a lot of people that he may know. They're probably looking at him going, wait a minute, were you working with the FBI with this? That could come back on him with a bunch of dangerous people. And, maybe they wanted to clean this up in a much more behind the scenes way. But I don't know that that's even necessarily the case either. I mean, all these files that are coming out, like you said, they're incomplete. Many things probably were taken out, especially during the Biden administration. Look at the stuff they've had information on Jeffrey Epstein since back in 2008, 2006.
Yeah.
At a bare minimum. None of that has come forward until now. And then people are complaining, not realizing that, hey, the information that came out under Trump, didn't come out under Biden, didn't come out under Obama, didn't come out under Bush. At least Trump actually did something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and if people are going to throw that much of a fit about it, but not, hold Biden or Obama accountable, I'm just not Biden Biden. I'm
That's
just not
funny.
buying the garbage.
You're not biting the Biden?
People.
Yeah.
Biden the Biden. Just thinking about the guy's already making my brain not work.
No.
So
Remember the bike? Remember when he fell over?
I think
When he fell.
Dan Bongino talked a little bit about the Epstein files the other day, and he said it pretty clear. It's like, look, there's something in there for everybody. The problem is 99% of it is not going to be actionable. There's not enough information in there to where you can actually, most prosecutors are going to say, hey, this is enough information, enough evidence to prosecute a case. So there's that piece of it. What we have is a whole bunch of files that ends up being very circumstantial evidence, and I would say dubious evidence at that. Like, we don't know what's been done to those files. So
exactly.
It's not the bombshell. What's not in there are like videos of what we think about the Epstein files, of grown men doing things that I've seen so far. Now, again, there's 3.5 million files. You can search them. They're online, folks. You go to the Department of Justice website. They got a search feature in there, and trust me, it's slow and it's tedious, but you can search. Like the other day, all I was doing was searching JPEGs. dot JPG. All right. And then all these pictures were coming up, and I went through, I don't know, well over 100 different pages of pictures. Each one of these, there was like 15 files on each page, and I just sat there for hours going through and seeing what I could find. You can search names, you can search. So they got a great search feature. Apparently some of that information is going to be additionally redacted, and that's another problem too, is that we have a lot of redacted. Apparently they're coming out and they're unredacting a bunch of the information, so that might lead us somewhere. I don't know what to make of it. When you start digging into it, I don't know what's real, what's not real. I don't know what's being used to frame people. I don't know what's being used to create narratives that are false. It is a treasure trove of misinformation, and at least a lot of opportunity for misinformation. If you want to smear somebody, you could do that using the Epstein files. Drop in a few different documents, you can smear somebody. If you want to exonerate people, it wouldn't surprise me at all if there was 7 million files and 3 million files have been taken out. So,
well, it's like I saw a commenter on here, and I've seen this argument before too. It's like, didn't they make the victims sign NDAs? You think an NDA is enforceable when the law is being broken? That's kind of people are strange about that. Like, why would they even say that? Like, an NDA could be enforced. Well, we know the guy absolutely did horrible things to you, but you did sign this NDA. It's kind of like a landlord going, "Oh, you must pay me 1 month every month rent with half a thing of cocaine." Yeah, I'm sure that's really enforceable too. It's very silly arguments that these people make.
And there's a bunch of sworn testimonies in there that when you start looking through that sworn testimony, you find out that nobody taking that testimony finds this person credible, that they have been found to be lying, that half of what they're saying is easily disproven, that this person wasn't even in the place that they're claiming. They have proof that this person, as they investigate these claims, this person was somewhere else. So it's for anybody out there that thought they were going to get this clear black and white picture once these files, and I don't care if they unredact all of it. I don't think that's what's going to happen. And I don't think the most incriminating information probably wouldn't be kept anyhow. And I know, look, maybe there's more information out there. I know, like, many of us have this imagination or imagine where it's like Jeffrey Epstein was videotaping, Bill Clinton or other heads of state doing lascivious acts so that they could blackmail them.
Yeah.
Maybe those exist. I don't think those exist in the Epstein files. Maybe they did, but I don't think you guys are going to see anything like that one way or the other.
Yeah.
And the other thing I'll tell you right now, I've said this before, you can say whatever you want about Mossad. There's no way that Epstein existed without the knowledge of the CIA. That's just a fact. Not when you have heads of state and important prominent figures in the United States going to Epstein Island or hanging out with Epstein in general. Those people were being watched by the NSA, the CIA, and many other intelligence assets within the United States. So,
for a long time.
Yeah.
Did you hear about his ranch though?
Yes, I did. I actually was reading about it. I had never heard about it until I was reading it in there, and then all this information came out in the Zorro Ranch.
Yeah, that's crazy. The size of Zorro Ranch. Like, the island is a 70-acre island.
Yeah.
Zorro Ranch is 7,500 acres.
Oh my word.
Well, you know how he got the Zorro Ranch, right?
I actually don't know.
He won the lottery.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
The money
he's won many different lotteries, it seems, in life.
I forgot how many millions of dollars the Zorro Ranch was, but it was explained that Jeffrey Epstein won the lottery, and he used those proceeds to buy the Zorro Ranch.
Of course he did.
Wild.
Of course he won the lottery.
Well, hey, still connected to the government at least somehow.
Yeah.
Someone's saying that he actually won it twice. So
won it twice. Well, when it's backed by the government, I think I think that just proves the lottery is rigged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop paying for that.
Yeah, probably good advice. Well, listen, folks, we appreciate you all tuning in, and I appreciate both of you coming on. Again, make sure you guys go like and subscribe, support these great creators. We need more of them out there telling you the truth and bringing you real information. That's what we try to do on this channel. We're always going to do in this channel. And we couldn't do it without you watching, without you supporting. So we appreciate you. You guys don't go anywhere, but everybody else, make sure you tune in tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to have a great show for you. And until next time, stay armed, stay ready. We'll talk to you soon.